What's going on, guys? We are live, and boy, howdy, do we have a ton to talk about. We got some special guests tonight. Let's get going. I want to introduce GetPug99. He's been on the show before, but this is the first time he's been on in a long time, and he's broken, but he's not out of this game yet.
Wow, that's hard.
How you been, GetPug99? What have you been up to besides mending?
Good. Trying to figure out ways to play video games.
Have you tried the tongue method yet?
Nah.
I haven't gone that far.
Holy shit.
Once you get good at that, it's got future uses that will really come in handy. Get good with the thumbsticks.
Yeah, that skill is transferable, so you can take it to other places.
So how's your channel going? What have you been up to lately?
Pretty good. I'm about 45 subscribers away from 1,000. So.
Oh, that's a big step. Let's get that happening this week, I think. I think we can make a push to make that happen.
I hope so.
Beastly Gamer, what the hell you been up to all week?
Man, I've been gaming and enjoying life and working and enjoying my weekend. I've been so excited to get back into Beastly Thoughts, man. This kind of evens out my week. It's like no matter how turbulent Monday through Saturday is, Sunday always brings it back to me. This is my church. Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord of electronics.
Yes.
9 to 5 Gamer, what have you been up to all week? Long time no see.
I've picked up Battlefield again, played a bunch of that. Not like I didn't already have it, I just put it in my system finally.
Yeah.
And just because they're doing the Dragon Teeth update next week for all the DLC, I picked up Knack. I actually bought that for $19, I think it was. And then I bought Wolfenstein, so I was playing both of them. Hey, right, I've always wanted to play that.
Let me start off by talking about Battlefield, because you actually brought up 3 games I'd like to talk about. Battlefield 4, it has every time I try and get into it, and I do like the game. Like once I start playing it, I have a good time. But it's all like the dashboard stuff and trying to get into it. I don't have a whole lot of fun without my friends. Like once we get going, though, it's a good time playing with friends and talking. Like how do you overcome that? Have you been able to?
Well, what we usually do is we tell my buddy, he finds a room for the amount of people that we have in our party, and then he launches into a room, and then everybody follows back to back, and we all get on the same team that way. That's the only way you can really do it. And he does it through the app, like not through the phone app, but through the internet, like on Battlelog. He'll search a server, select a server, and then launch into it that way, and then we'll all follow him. So he picks the one with like the best ping, so we're like not getting latency or rubber banding or any of the other bullshit.
That sounds like when I was playing Quake 3 back in like 2000.
Yeah. That is the only problem. It is like the most outdated shit I've ever seen. Like you can't just get into a party and launch the whole party. No, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's how you'd want it to work.
I kind of feel the same way about Battlefield as BriarRabbit. When we all got together and played the game, that's probably the most fun I've ever had playing Battlefield 4. Another one of the issues I have with it, though, is that the UI is so cumbersome.
Clunky. It's clunky as hell,
it's
too.
Like in Call of Duty, if you want to add something to a weapon, it's so easy to do. It's elementary, but you got to have a PhD in Battlefield 4 to just add like a scope or something to it.
Well, in Call of Duty, you can do it between matches. Yeah. You have to do it while the match is going on in Battlefield 4. I don't understand that. So you got to put guys AFK because they're making classes and stuff.
That's another big problem, because not only do you have people making classes, but you have people equipping things to all their different vehicles and all that shit that they unlock. It's like you don't give nobody enough time to do that. It's almost like you have to use the Battlelog website, and I hate using different apps and websites and all this shit to customize my stuff. I want it all in the game.
No, I think it's cool if you want to use it. Like I used to use the Call of Duty website to create classes while I was at work because it's better than working. But I don't want to have to use it. I don't want to have to log onto my PC to use like functionality that should be included in the game. So talk to me about Knack, because that game is much maligned. But there's actually a few people out there that say, "Hey, this game's not too bad. What did you think of it?"
Well, I didn't play it on any other difficulty. I went straight to the hardest difficulty in the game, and I'm liking it because it makes it, in a sense, more strategic. Like you have to plan based off the enemies you are fighting, which is cool. But the game is extremely fucking repetitive. It is the same shit over and over and over again. The story isn't that great, but it's fun. I'm having fun with it. For $19, that's worth it in my eyes.
Okay. I mean, $20. It's better than $60.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, if you paid $60 for that, you got fucking ripped off.
All right. Last
Sorry.
thing I want to talk
Sorry,
about
I did.
is
It's still fun though. Whatever.
still, you have it too, Robbie. I didn't even introduce you yet. You played it as well.
Yeah, I got it around the time it came out, maybe like a month after. I think I got it for like my birthday or something like that. I don't even remember, but it's a really fun game. Yeah, it's definitely not worth $60, but like still pretty fun, and I enjoyed it, so I like it.
All right. What was the last game you said? 9 to 5. I already forgot.
Well, Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. So I have played Wolfenstein too, and I was blown away by how much I enjoyed that game. It was a short experience. What is it? Have you played all the way through the campaign yet?
No. I'm. I'd say about 2 to 3 hours into it, maybe.
Okay, so you've gotten introduced to. You've gotten introduced to the fact that there is a story, though.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Because at the beginning, you almost feel like it's just going to be another kind of standard id shooter, but it ends up having quite a cool story. It's made by the same guys who made what was that Riddick game?
Yeah.
Darkbright
Oh,
Studios,
Chronicles
is that
of
what it was?
Riddick.
Yeah, Chronicles of Riddick,
Yeah.
and it shows that it was made by those guys because there's a story there and it's fun. It's a little weird because you're blowing away guys and then you're like talking like sensitively, but it's fun. I like that game a lot.
The thing about the game is, especially for those who haven't played the new Wolfenstein New Order game, if you're playing for like the first 30 or 40 minutes, it is going to seem like a standard issue first-person shooter, nothing new. But I promise you, if you go past that first hour, you're hooked. The story is that good. I got the game too. It's awesome.
And you picked this one up discounted, right?
Me? Yeah.
He's got that guy with the trench coat, remember?
Yeah. Well, it's warm now, so he just wears just a regular, 3 jackets. But yeah.
I paid full price for the game, and I wish I had paid $40 because there's no multiplayer. Once you finish the story, you can go back and play it on a harder difficulty, but that's about it. So there's not a whole lot of replay value there.
Well, they are working on DLC, but I haven't heard anything about multiplayer DLC. But the story, I think that the game is probably worth around $39. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
All right, Robbie, how you been? What have you been up to this week?
Not too much really. I mean, I had a couple days myself. The family went away camping, so got to stay home alone. That was nice, and then all I've been just doing is just playing whatever. Been waiting for the Destiny beta to come out. That's all I want right now, just that Destiny beta. I can't wait.
Every little lick of Destiny news that comes out, I'm parsing for every little detail that I can find in it. I'm so excited for that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have made 4 stories for like I was making notes for today's show, and I could have put 4 stories in there, but I was like, these are too small. Like they're gonna take like 10 seconds, and then we'll just move on. But I just love that game so much. I can't wait for this beta.
So we get 10 days of the beta, the 17th through the 27th, correct?
There's one day in the middle that they're taking it down for.
Yeah.
And it depends. Actually, if you're on PS4, that's true, but Xbox One only gets kind of the second half.
And then it's stopping and then it's starting back up or whatever for another week.
Yeah. So I mean that game is. Did everybody here play? I know that Brett, you didn't get in, but did everybody else get into the alpha?
Yeah, everybody else. Well, me, you, and Robbie played it.
Yeah, literally together, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the beta's coming out. The beta's coming out on the 17th, I think we decided. Everybody who did a pre-order actually gets 3 beta codes. So if you got a pre-order for Destiny, I think this is actually really smart. And let's say Get Punked and Beastly Gamer on the fence about it, I can give them 2 pre-order game codes, like download codes, and they can come and play with me, like to create a fire team, which is smart on Bungie's side because they're saying, hey, like we think our game is so much fun that if you get to play it for free, you're going to want to buy it in September. I think that's brilliant. But it's also nice because there'll be plenty of beta codes kind of out there.
So I didn't even look at the receipt. Is it actually on the receipt 3 beta codes?
No, you have to go to Bungie's website and register the code on your receipt, and you have to select which console you want to download it on. At that time, later you get an email that says, okay, come back to Bungie.com or Bungie.net and register your console, and then they'll send you a 3 beta codes.
Oh, that'll be done as soon as BC Thoughts is over today.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out on a second time.
Sweet. Hell no. It's not happening.
Did you reserve the Ghost Edition, Briar?
I did.
Dude,
and I was torn.
I went the day after it was announced, and they were all reserved out. Like, I couldn't get any of them. I was like, holy shit.
From your local GameStop?
Yep. 2 of them.
They're only getting 2? Oh,
yeah, I went to 2 different ones.
And they were all, wow. Damn. I went the next day, too. I'm glad. I went early in the morning, though, the next day. I was there at like 10:30 in the morning. I considered going that day. But there's still like Halo cat helmets floating around in stores, so you'd never expect it to be that limited edition.
No. Yeah, my problem is if they're already telling me, oh yeah, you're not going to be able to reserve it, and somebody drops their reserve on the day the game comes out, I'm not going to sit around and wait. I'm just going to go pick up my copy and go the fuck home.
Yeah, I agree.
The DLC for this game is going to be PlayStation exclusive for a year. Now that's unheard of because normally it's like a month, like Call of Duty for Xbox consoles. They get the DLC a month before any PlayStation owner gets a chance to play it. This Destiny DLC, PlayStation exclusive stuff, is for a whole year.
Yeah, but it's cordoned off from the DLC. So there's PlayStation exclusive content that'll be exclusive to PlayStation for a year, but then there's also DLC that's not the case for.
Yeah, the 2 expansions.
There is also GameStop DLC as well, correct?
I haven't heard that. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I heard. GameStop has their own exclusive DLC deal as well. So
great.
I don't know how long that'll last, but I think that's probably a downer for a lot of people. But yeah, that's something I heard on IGN.
What my guess is that this will be like those strike missions. Okay, so they've announced actually what the beta is going to be, and I'm going to pull it up real quick because I think it pertains to this conversation. Is because there's basically 3 types of content in this game. There's multiplayer maps. There's the strike missions where it's literally you just go in. This is like the Devil's. I can't remember what it was.
Devil's Lair.
Yeah, me and Robbie played it together. And then there's also like those big kind of like exploration maps that you can go into, and you'll randomly come across some of this stuff. So some of these things are just going to be instances on these maps. I think some of this exclusive content that you may be able to walk through, and you might be able to see that area on your Xbox One, but that same event won't kick on unless you have that DLC. That's my guess.
You get a Sparrow vehicle as the DLC for GameStop, Beasley, to answer your question. It's just another cruiser vehicle.
Is that the one that's in space, or is that the one that you ride like a speeder
That's
bike?
the one you ride like a speeder bike.
Oh, okay, so you'd actually see that one in game.
Ooh, that looks nice. Where can I get one? GameStop only.
Yeah, no shit.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah. Is anybody else pre-ordering the Ghost version, or is that just me?
I pre-ordered the limited edition because I couldn't pre-order the Ghost version.
Yeah.
So I got the edition that comes with like the expansion packs and all the other good shit except for the cube.
Yeah, that's the only thing it's missing is your little miniature robotic Peter Dinklage, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, for the consumers out there like myself who don't know what comes with the Ghost Edition, can you guys kind of elaborate on that? Because I don't know all the different versions of the game that are being released yet.
Well, you would if you had watched my video where I announced everything.
You get, for instance...
I didn't pay my internet bill.
God, Beastly, come on. Give up the time.
You get a limited edition steel book, which is like the case for the game. So it's going to be steel silver with like the Destiny emblem on it. You get a game disc, obviously. You get an art book. You get an art book for the guns and armory type stuff. You get like a gang of postcards. You get 3 things of DLC that are going to come with it. So. Okay. Not including all the DLC you get for the PlayStation version, the bike you get from GameStop, and also on top of that the 2 expansion packs that you get.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit to it.
the only difference between that version and the other version, you get the cube that flies with you, and I think it's $50 more, Briar, or
Yeah,
what is it?
they're charging them basically $50 for that plastic cube, and you get an in-game representation of it. Yours will be red, everybody else's will be silver.
And it lights up. The physical thing lights up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it also, if you push a button, it talks with Peter Dinklage's voice, and it better say, that wizard came from Mars, or the moon, or whatever. But yeah, I pre-ordered it just because I wanted that thing hanging around. I still got a cat helmet hanging around. I don't even remember, was that Halo 2 or Halo 3 that came with that Master Chief helmet?
Halo 3 came with the Master Chief big helmet that you can like take off.
Yeah. And Halo 2 came with the Steelbook, I think, right?
Yep.
Look, he's looking for it. Look.
I got it.
Like
I was in love with Halo. Halo Combat Evolved is one of my favorite games of all time. I was amazed by that game.
How excited are you for the Master Chief Collection? Then you get to play it all over
I'm not that
again.
excited for it. I've already played all those games, so up-resing them. Okay, I've played those games. It's not just I played them. I played them to death. I mean, I played Halo Combat Evolved for years, almost exclusively. I used to port my Xbox around to my friends' houses so we could play, 4-player split screen. I played that game a lot. Halo 2, that was the first time I got the Halo experience on the internet, and I played that a lot, like a real lot.
But they got the up-res versions of Halo 2. They got 6 maps totally redone for the Xbox One.
I understand.
That'll be nice.
I'll get it. I'll buy it. But I don't think I'll spend a whole lot of time with it. I'll be too busy playing Destiny and Advanced Warfare, new games that don't have stuff that I've already figured out and haven't exploited all the tricks to. Like the problem with going back to old games multiplayer is that you already know what all the guns do. You're gonna unlock the guns that you want. Well, in Halo it's different because you're gonna run to the gun you want. You know exactly where to hang out. With your shotgun or your sniper rifle. So. It'll be fun because there'll probably be a whole lot of new players in there to take advantage of.
I totally agree with you, but the amazing thing is, I think that game got the biggest reaction out of everything that Microsoft announced at E3. I think that game is the one that got most people excited, believe it or not.
Yeah,
I'm more excited for Sunset Overdrive, but that's because I'm not like a super big Halo fan. I've played them all, but not necessarily like die-hard Halo fan.
Same here.
I fell off the Halo bandwagon probably after Halo 3, like ODST and Halo 4,
Reach.
and like it just
Reach.
kind of, Reach and those things. They just kind of slowly. I just kind of lost interest in the series. But Destiny, it's from the guys who brought us Combat Evolved and Halo 2. I'm just really excited for that game because everything I love about Halo, it's like amplified. It's in this huge world that you get to explore, almost MMO style. I'm down like a clown.
Is
with a frown.
the beta
Is
is the beta going to be different than what we played, Briar?
Yeah,
That's
so
what I want
it's
to know
got-
more than anything. I don't want to play the same shit. I really don't.
It's got 4 Crucible maps, which is the player versus player maps. It's got Shores of Time on Venus, Rusted Lands on Earth, which I think was in the alpha. Is that right? Rusted Lands.
Yeah,
Does that sound
it was.
familiar? Okay, Blind Watch on Mars and First Light on Earth's moon, which was also in the beta. So it's got 4 maps for Crucible, 2 of which weren't in the alpha. It also has. Give me a second here because I'm reading this out of the article.
No, that's cool. I'd like to know, so that's good. Because I was very worried because if it was going to be the same thing, I was going to just be like, forget it, I'm not going to play it. I'll wait till the actual game comes out.
Same here.
So it's also going to have 4 story chapters, which I don't. Did we see any? Maybe that Devil's. What was it again, Robbie?
Devil's Lair. No,
Devil's
there
Lair.
was another one that was actually story level before that. The very
Okay,
first one.
so- So we got 4 story chapters, then the 4 competitive multiplayer maps I already talked about, and a cooperative strike, and a huge world to explore with your own unique guardian. So it's unclear if that'll be the same kind of area that we get to explore we did before, but it looks like there'll be a lot of new content, and it looks like it's going to be a lot more too than was in the alpha, like a lot more to kind of check out. I hope there's a little bit of story to kind of like start investigating that story.
Yeah, because they really didn't show anything when we were playing the alpha. It was like there was no cutscene type thing or no character development at all, which is cool because it is just the alpha. So hopefully they do have some of that.
Yeah, you just got kind of dumped onto that like desert area on Earth, and Peter Dinklage started talking in your ear without context, and then you walk into that cave like right by the starting zone and get killed by those guys that you can't even damage.
Yep. yeah, the guys
that was my
really
experience.
From.
Even toward the end of the alpha, I ran into that cave again. I still couldn't damage them. I was doing like 1 point of damage per shot.
Yeah, and then when you look at their energy bar, they don't even have a name. It's just a bunch of question marks or whatever.
Yeah, stay away from those dudes.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
Yeah, that was right at the beginning too.
Shit. Yeah, that's
All right,
how you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, so I am super psyched. I'm going to start playing Dota 2 and League of Legends like a crazy person. I am so down with these games right now. Have you guys heard that YouPorn may sponsor a Dota 2 or League of Legends team? I know you guys know who YouPorn is. Don't act like a boy.
We all know.
Is that the encyclopedia website?
Yes, it is.
I prefer Pornhub, actually.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. If you were a competitive gamer, would you want to be sponsored by Pornhub? It's almost like the Bad News Bears being sponsored by Chico's bail bonds, isn't it? It's like, this isn't exactly a first-rate sponsor.
I mean,
go ahead. Would you want to wear a YouPorn jersey?
Actually, yeah, because any publicity is good publicity, all right? Any attention is good attention, and you'd be a trendsetter. It's not like you're out there, doing porn. You're being sponsored by the company. You're getting money. They're taking care of you, and I'm sure they have lots of people who appreciate their service. So yeah, I'd wear that shit. You porn all day, baby.
How about you get punked? Would you want to wear a YouPorn jersey?
Oh yeah, definite.
There was no hesitation. You hear how quick he said that shit?
Yeah.
He's on Spreadshirt right now, making one up.
Oh yeah, right. Wait, you can do that?
9 to 5 gamers. What do you think? What do you think the wife would think if you started wearing that thing in public?
I think they would just do awesome jerseys. Would I necessarily do it? Probably not, because I don't know. It's kind of like a joke. It's kind of like they're looking at a game that these people take seriously, and they're like, "Hey, guess what? You're wearing porn companies on your back, Like, no, I'm good."
They might have to pay a little extra.
You got to answer the second part of the question too. 9 to 5. What would the wife think?
Oh, she'd probably think it's awesome. Actually, she stares at girls' asses before I do. She's like, "Check out her ass. You can look."
You can look.
I'm like, "All right."
What do you think, Robbie? Would you wear a YouPorn jersey to be in the competitive scene?
Oh, fuck yeah, what do you know it?
Yeah.
But it would be a little bit of a humiliating
All right, now everybody's got to call their mother and answer this again with their mother on the phone.
My mom would be like, my mom would be like, "You mean that YouTube? That's all right."
Damn
Are
right.
you porn? No, you ain't doing that.
He just said it wrong. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be hilarious. And any, I don't know. Is any sponsor a good sponsor? I don't know.
Than others, probably.
I mean, I think I would do it though.
I think
I would do it.
And any sponsor's going to be in it for themselves, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're gonna sponsor a team hoping to, get
Yeah,
into
to get
that
some,
key
get
like
some get back,
12
yeah.
to 18-year-old market.
Yeah, and they're in the right place. Come on, Dota, League of Legends. These young kids never been touched by that website. What website is that? Hold on, Jacob, type that in. And all of a sudden, a whole world, a new paradigm shift.
His mom's on there.
Hold on, a moment of silence. A moment of silence. Who is that I see?
I told that Cablevision company that if they don't connect my internet, we're gonna have problems.
We're gonna have problems here.
What really happened was I heard you guys talk about YouPorn, so I decided to chime in.
Perfect.
Can't let this opportunity go unnoticed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my big moment to shine. Let's talk about YouPorn. What did I miss?
So what would you do, Hector, if you had the opportunity, right, to wear the YouPorn jersey and go to the X Games? Would you do it? Like national TV.
I think
you're gonna wear that YouPorn jersey.
I think that's disgusting, a disgrace, but I have to do it. I'm telling you, I would definitely. I mean, they're sponsored. It's a sponsorship. I mean, who cares,
Yeah.
So that's the way I feel about it. I mean, it is against the rules for League of Legends, though, but.
It is.
I forgot where it said. It said there's a section that says that you can't advertise pornography or something like that.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
unless YouPorn sponsors people and not say where they're from,
Like a redirect light.
Yeah, they can't
Go to
say that.
encyclopediabrown.com. Redirect.
Encyclopedia Brown.
That's gotta be the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life.
I'm glad I can accommodate.
One of those. That was a good one.
You guys ready to move off porn, or you got some more porn?
No, never.
I just got here.
All right, so I was reading an article that PC gaming market is growing by leaps and bounds. This year, it's scheduled to be the whole market. This includes hardware, games, everything, and it's PC gaming specific because, as we know, PC hardware is actually on the decline. Less people are buying new PCs every year, but PC gaming is now a $21.5 billion business.
Wow.
Can you believe that? I mean, we're talking about people buying, $1,000 or $2,000, even $3,000 computers to play games on, and these are purpose built. It's not like you're buying this thing. I suppose there's some parts that are kind of cross compatible to maybe somebody who's doing video, but I mean, these are really specific rigs at this point that are really built specifically for gaming. They're not meant for a guy in the office doing word processing. This is a really specific thing, and to be this big a business, does this harbor does this beckon the downfall of consoles, or is this the new console? Is this just something superior? What do you guys think about this?
Well,
Go ahead, not too nerdy. I know you're always playing.
Yeah, he's new. Let him come in.
I don't know. I gotta say that a lot of things contribute to that, and I think the number one thing is a lot more websites let you build a PC now. I think that was the biggest problem with people with gaming PCs, that a lot of people didn't know what they're doing, and now all of a sudden there's websites that build it for you. I mean, they cost more, but at least they build it for you. You can customize it to what you want and what you're trying to play, and they'll build it for you. I think for a lot of people, that's what makes it so easy, that they could get it to build it, and then later on they might upgrade the GPU or something like that. But I think that's the biggest change right there. And also people are starting to see that a lot of these, multiplats, PC is the best one to play it on. So people are trying to play multiplats on the PC, and they buy the console just for exclusives. So I think that's what you're going to see more of now. So.
Yeah. What do you think, Robbie? What do you think contributes to all this PC gaming sales?
Probably Steam, which makes probably a shit ton of cash, I imagine, from all those Steam sales. And
Steam is a big deal.
Going on.
Yeah.
It's definitely a large portion of it is Steam for sure, I think. And just because pretty much everybody has a computer, and maybe you don't have a super powerful gaming PC, but you still might buy games on Steam or something like that. The market's just there, so.
You don't have to have a super new computer to play some of the older games or even some newer games that use 2D graphics, like Rogue Legacy.
That's true, yeah.
What do you think, Beast the Gamer? You just bought a PC not too long ago. Have you been gaming on it? Do you see why? Do you see the appeal?
I definitely do, and I agree with you, Robbie. I think that Steam has a lot to do with it. Now, when you're saying this did you say $2 billion or $23 billion?
21.5 billion. That's the entire industry.
1.5 billion. So
Yeah.
that's hardware and software and all that combined. Well, that should let you
I
know
believe
that
so.
piracy is not making too much of an impact, because I think when people want to play games, they're going to go ahead and buy it on the console or PC of their choice. And what Not Too Nerdy said was a really good point as well. Now you can get a tailor-made PC. I mean, you don't have to go out to Comp USA, which doesn't exist anymore, or Best Buy, and look for things. You can get it straight, shipped directly to your home, exactly what you want. And I think it's a lot easier for the consumer. And yeah, when people game on PCs, they're getting the best experience. There is nothing better, and I don't think that'll ever change. It's kind of like the Apple, consumers like yourself. Some people want to stay up to date with the newest and the latest, and when a new graphics card comes out, when a new a higher degree of RAM comes out for their PC, they go out and grab it immediately, and it's raking in bucks. Way to go, PC.
I'm sorry, I have to correct my numbers. It's PC gaming hardware is more than a 21.5 billion business. That doesn't include software.
So it's not. All right.
It's
That's
just
still
hardware.
huge.
Yeah, it's actually bigger if you think about it that way.
But if you really think about it, it's not as much. Because how much it costs for a GPU? A normal GPU, just parts for a computer. People are buying maybe not the most expensive computer, but then they're buying an expensive GPU. I know some people that have a more expensive graphics card than their whole system.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
the thing. Like, people do that. All they do is they swap it out as soon as a brand new game comes out. They swap out and get a new graphics card. So I mean, that pretty much right there is where most of the money is coming from. I think. NVIDIA.
Pug 99. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're killing it. Get Pug 99. What do you think? Are you a PC gamer? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I play a little PC. I mean, I got my new PC just for certain games on Steam. That's pretty much the only reason I play PC. Because there's some exclusives. Like when DayZ came out, that's the main reason I wanted to get a new PC.
Same here.
Yeah.
I bet you DayZ is selling more PCs than Microsoft's Word is right now. I mean, it's got to be the most popular game on YouTube. Maybe Minecraft.
That was the only reason I got a new PC. That's the only reason I wanted one. My old PC, which I gave to my son, it could do everything I do as far as rendering videos and whatnot, but DayZ wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I had to get a new one just for that game. That's the only reason I got a new PC.
I don't know if you realize this, DayZ doesn't work ananyway.
That's a good point.
The game itself doesn't work.
I found that out later, not to know.
What do you think, 9 to 5?
I don't care. I hate
PC,
man. I fucking hate PC. I hate it.
We
I have a
talked about
PC that
that
can
the
run a
other
lot
day.
of games, and I can't stand that shit.
Mhm.
I keyboard and mouse. I hate it. If I can't play it with a controller, I don't want to play that shit.
You can play a lot of games with a controller on PC, but that's my opinion too. Basically, is that I'd rather sit on my couch with my feet up and play Borderlands for 4 hours while I'm leaning back and just control over my thumbsticks. I don't want to be sitting in my office chair where I do work. It's just not a fun
laid back
way to play.
experience. Yeah.
No, it's a lean back experience.
BriarRabbit. Now, if you ever do play Borderlands, on your couch and you use your tongue, you need to record that so we can see it.
All right, I will. I'm not afraid to embarrass myself on YouTube.
Just like you guys know.
That's not a problem I encounter.
The only problem is though, a person on a keyboard and mouse will destroy someone on a controller in a shooting game.
Oh yeah, that's why I would never play. That's why I would never play a game that's on PC with a controller versus people with a mouse.
Because they will destroy. You wouldn't even get a chance to move the analog stick before they already scrolled up and shot you already.
There was an accessory for the PS3 where you could actually put a mouse on the PS3 and use it in shooters.
They
I
had
never
that
checked
for
it out
Dreamcast.
myself.
The Dreamcast had a keyboard and mouse for Quake. So even back in the Dreamcast days, they had a special mouse and keyboard for Quake, which was
But
pretty
if you
cool.
look at the games that are popular right now, you look at DayZ and you look at Minecraft, those have got to be the two most popular games with the younger generation, right? It's like these games. What's that?
What we were just talking about, League of
There
Legends.
you go.
It has 23 million players.
These are huge games and they're PC games, Like PS4 and Xbox One don't have anything that are competing with that right now. They're just way more popular, and it's so easy. not too dirty. You brought up the point. It's so easy to buy a custom PC now with an awesome graphics card and like ready to go. But it's also super easy to build one yourself now. I mean, it used to be a pain in the ass. Like you had to know which jumper did what on a motherboard to make your hard drive work. For God's sake, now you just throw all that shit in there and it just works. And that's a nice thing. You don't really have to know much about it at all. And I mean, I wonder if PC games will kind of keep this route where it'll just get more and more popular. I was watching a review of this very small, I think it was made by Gigabyte. It was a very small PC in a box. It had a GTX 670 in it, and it was not the mobile version. And this thing's running, new games at good resolutions. You could plug it into a PC or to a PC monitor or to a TV, and it's small enough that you can just throw it anywhere, basically.
Really?
Stuff like that, that's pretty compelling to me because I could throw that onto my TV and play PC games on my TV. Throw an Xbox 360 controller onto that and have the best of both worlds.
What's making PC the most money is the free-to-play games, though. Like all the mobile games, that's what's really dominating the market for them, the free-to-play games. Like they started it all. Like they started before mobiles did it, like before platform. Like that's what the cell phones make money off of from free-to-play games, and the computer does that model. That's what League of Legends, all that, that's how they thrive. That's why League of Legends makes so much money. It's because it's free-to-play. Like,
yeah,
that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because if you see a lot of those MMOs, there's only one that still makes money every month, and that's World of Warcraft. Other than that, no other one could do subscription-based. They all have to be free-to-play.
Yeah, they all start off subscription-based and then move like within 3 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you guys a question, because I do play an MMO. It's called Silk Road Online, and people hate it, but I do play it from time to time. Do any of you guys do MMOs at all? I know League of Legends has 23 million users. Do any of you guys play that game?
Like, I do Battle Arena sometimes. Like, you mean MOBA or MMO? Because, like, MOBA is like the Battle Arena style.
Yeah, MOBA is, Battle Arena. MMO is open world, massively multiplayer online. Do you guys do any of them?
I mean, wait, what were you going to say?
I played Realm Reborn for like 3 months, and then the last month I played it probably for like 4 days, and I was like, I paid a month fee to play this game like for an hour. I was like, fuck this. I hate monthly fee games. I can't stand that shit, man. It's one thing to pay for a system like a PlayStation Plus or Live when you're playing so many games on that service, but when you're paying to play one damn game, I don't like any game enough to play that.
That's why I haven't got the new Final Fantasy for PS4. I wanted to try it, but if it's subscription based, I don't want to mess with it.
It's an amazing game. Don't get me wrong, the game is amazing, but if you're only gonna play that, that's when it's worth it.
I mean, we don't have time like we used to. I know it pisses me off. I talked to my kids about it back when I was a teenager and even the early or late 20s. I had a lot more time to play video games. Just like now, I'm constantly working, and on top of that, I squeeze in YouTube, and on top of that, I got family life. It's so hard. I would be wasting my money paying a subscription at this day and age.
Basically, that's why you can tell whatever I'm playing that week by what I'm using for YouTube videos. Like, you can see that I went and started playing Black Ops 2 because that's what I started making YouTube videos about. Like it's the time as you get older, it just gets less and less and less. So you just have to maximize how you use it. And for us trying to make YouTube videos, I'm gonna make YouTube videos about what I'm playing. And if that's Destiny, guess what? You're not gonna see any of it's Black Ops or Ghost because I don't have time to play the game that I want to play and the game that I'm gonna post on my channel. The channel's just going to move over to whatever I'm playing,
Question. Since you're talking about games that you do play and games you don't, now that, these new games are coming out.
I know where this is going.
What I'm going to ask?
Yeah.
What am I going to ask, 95?
Is it a question about Titanfall?
Titanfall.
Yeah. Is that what
That's why I was thinking too.
Is it over, BriarRabbit? Is Titanfall done? Now that Destiny's coming out? I mean, for me, the game that's got me most excited right now is The Last of Us on the 29th. That's going to be all over my channel. But is Titanfall done? Is that something you're still looking forward to? You're playing it all, or do you think it's pretty much over with these other games coming out?
Last time I played it was with 9 to 5 because we couldn't get Battlefield 4 to work.
So
So
that was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That was the last day I played too.
Wow.
I still like the game, but I downloaded the DLC for it, and I can't say I played more than like 5 or 6 matches in that DLC.
And they just announced their new DLC called Frontier, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
It's called
Yeah.
We decided to add more maps now because we should have
They need more stuff. Yeah.
Not too dirty to be telling that shit like it is. Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. Like for me, like the funniest thing I saw, like I liked the game, and all of a sudden, like when I saw the content, I'm like, this is all you get, and I had a bad taste in my mouth when they erased all my content because in the beginning, like they screwed up, the servers dropped, and they screwed over the PC people. So that's why I was pissed off from the beginning. And then all of a sudden it started working, and you literally saw people, PC gamers, after the second week were gone. Like literally, it was a joke for PC gamers that like they put, it came out March 11th, and it said rest in peace, like on the 21st or something like that. Like it was already done for PC, and now you're starting to see the console version's almost done too. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's hard to find a match on the DLC.
I think that they should make some single-player DLC. I mean, a real fleshed-out story. I think that would get people more invested into it. You know, if you actually have character development, characters you care about, a story that you care about, rather than flashing information during a multiplayer.
That's how you get players in, too. You know, you get them in with the single player, and they're like, hey, you know, I've built up these skills playing the single player. Let me go check out that multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about with Evolve too. Like kind of the same deal with Titanfall, where there's not enough content to keep your game going. Because I don't see Evolve having it either.
Yeah.
Like the game looks amazing, but there ain't much there, dude. You're not selling that game to me for $60. You're high as a kite. Like
I'm
for real.
almost only buying that game because I know it's going to be YouTube Gold. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
He's screaming at you guys.
see, the thing with Evolve is a different concept though. It's not like the standard first-person shooter. This is like a different thing.
Yeah,
it's one person versus four. Like,
but you're saying if there's not enough maps and there's not enough equipment to have, it's the same damn thing. You're still playing the same thing over and over again.
Well, we're
Guys,
yet to see.
I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. Now, he's not saying that, you know, there's not enough, but we don't know about the equipment in Evolve or the weapons in Evolve yet. I mean, we're yet to see whether or not we have fleshed out weapons, equipment, armor, and perks. Now, that's something that they were drastically missing in Titanfall, so that's a big difference. Now, as far as a story or campaign goes in Evolve, yeah, they might have something similar in common, but the whole dynamic of multiplayer has been changed with Evolve. It's something that really hasn't been done before. One person who evolves into a powerful, you know, enemy versus four, and somehow it equals itself out. That paradigm is going to make that interesting in itself. If they can keep it fleshed out with weapons, armor, and perks, that game, like Briar said, it's going to be gold. It's going to be awesome.
not just that, the type of monsters. They can have so many different types of monsters do different things.
Yeah.
And the whole game switches up because of the different monster. And I'm pretty sure that's what they're hinting at because there's 2 different conventions that had 2 different monsters. So,
but in the aspect of that, I don't want it to end up being like almost in a sense a free-to-play game where all these monsters and everything you're getting is DLC and you have to put like $70 into it to get a real game.
well, that's the thing. We don't know how many monsters you're going to have to start out with because they barely showed that much. They didn't want to surprise, take out too much of a surprise for people. So we don't know yet. But I agree. Like it might turn out to be the same thing. But right now, like the whole concept is different. You see, when you're a first-person shooter and you're imitating Call of Duty and that style, you already have a one style of gameplay. So if you were limited then and you have one style, then the only thing that they had that was different was the fact that you could bounce off walls or jump up. That was it.
Yeah.
So the fact that they didn't bring content with that, then that's why it was like a little weird. But Evolve is a completely different idea for the gameplay. That it's one person versus like 4 other people, and each person does one thing on the team, and they have to work together as a team. They have to communicate, they have to do things. Like, not one person can shine over the other. So it's going to be interesting, the gameplay, like how it works.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You got monsters that can fly, through the sky at the top of the map, looking down. When I first saw Evolve for the first time, it was from the point of view of a monster really high in the sky. I didn't know what was going on the ground. I was like, I don't know what this is going to be. Then it came down to the ground, and everything changed, and then I got to see the perspective from the 4 players. That shit's going to be sick. It really is. I mean, you get to play as humans and then switch to a monster that's up in the sky and coming down. I mean, I'm really excited about that game.
Because as a monster, you have to decide, you have to form your own strategy as well. you know, you can't just evolve. You have to know every time you evolve to the next stage, you have to decide where you're putting your perks towards. There's different things you could do. Do you want a range shot where you spit fire and you back up the players? Or do you want, if they come close to you, that you could defend yourself too? There's different things that you have to choose as a monster as well, which makes it like complicated. And every game's different according to the person playing, you know? That's why it's like there's a lot more to it than they showed, but like I think you have to like actually play it to understand it. I mean, not understand it. I still understand. There's so much crap going on in it, but
have they announced anything? Have they announced anything as far as a release date or a projected release in this game?
Yeah, I thought they announced the release date.
It's in November or October, I think.
Oh, can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be a great year.
It's right around where everything else comes out. So there's gonna be a lot
I was
of games
hoping
that
it
are
was
going to
going
be
to
like,
release where it kind of come out before everything else.
yeah.
But
I'd hope
it's
that
not.
with a lot of games, or push some of them. I'd be okay with them pushing some of them until next year because there's so much shit coming out.
What about the other
Sure,
game
yeah,
that's just announced last week? October 31st is release. It's a brand new game that they just announced for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's coming out October 31st.
What is it called?
I don't remember. Hold on, let me.
If you don't remember, it's probably not worth remembering.
No, it is. It's pretty good. I just don't remember the name. Hold on, I'll look it up. You guys continue.
Everything's coming out in October. It's gonna be a cluttered month. I'm telling you now. And I think anybody who who releases within that time frame of Destiny is killing themselves. I think everybody's going to be playing Destiny.
It's a tough December, or it's a tough holiday season because you got Destiny, you got Halo, you got Call of Duty, you got presumably we got the Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, you got the Grand Theft Auto coming out sometime around there for the next generation. I mean, it's a nasty place to be putting out a new game.
Yeah. That might be why they pushed Batman back too, because initially they were going to release around that time as well. You know, you don't want juggernauts going up against each other.
No, you don't. So, you guys been watching any Evo, the fighting game championships?
Yes, I was watching it right before the show.
Yeah, you have been?
Yeah,
What game were they playing?
They were playing Smash.
Oh,
right
really?
Oh man, Evo is one of my favorite things as a gamer. I love it every year, and I had a fighting game tournament over here at my house yesterday. I had some buddies over, and we played for 4 hours.
Where was my invite? What the hell? I don't get an invite?
It was couch multiplayer, brother.
I got a car.
If you want to drive from Connecticut to Georgia, I got room. Come on. No, but we played some Smash and we played some Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and I won everything. Just let that be known. But I got the videos to prove it. But man, Evo is awesome, and I can't even compete with the guys playing these games. I think I'm good at Smash. These fools playing Smash Brothers right now, Jigglypuff, I'm scared as hell. That dude is crazy with Jigglypuff. But yeah, Evo's sick.
Yeah, they're next level. I've been watching a little bit of it too, and it's insane the combos they pull off without even thinking about it. Like their timing is down. They're counting frames of animations to like pull moves off and stuff.
Yeah. Justin Long, that dude's an animal too.
Yeah, he's always.
You guys seen this thing here? The new Razer Aatrox. I'll show you a picture of it. You guys seen this thing? It's for the Xbox One. It's their new arcade fight stick for the Xbox One. So it's pretty good.
Does it light up, or is that just like green?
I think it's just green, but that's replaceable. That like front panel is replaceable, and you can lift the cover up to get to the insides to switch out anything you want. Basically, it also comes with a bat type to replace the ball on the top of the controller.
Oh wow!
Pretty nice looking. $200 though. Razer.
Oh. Ooh.
Couple $100.
No thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I always trust Mad Catz for Tournament Edition. I don't know about Razer. Razer's the newest. I don't know. For a fight stick?
I've had good
thinking
luck
about it. Look
with
at him.
Razer products, except for the Razer Anza. That thing wore out really quick.
No, but I meant like for a fight stick, like Mad Catz is like Mad Catz, or you go straight to Japanese brands, like the Hori stick. Hori is like one of the top, so is like Mad Catz right now. Mad Catz came back into the game because Mad Catz gets all the licensed ones for like Street Fighter and all that stuff. They get all the licensed ones. But I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see though. You know, to see how it works. But I hope that that's not like Xbox One is only letting people do that. The licensed ones be on Xbox One. You know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Because like I can mod like mine to be on the PS4. You know, like that's what I'm still trying to do. I need one more part to mod the whole thing, but once I do that, it'll be able to do PS4, Wii, Wii U. Not that I'll ever need it for Wii or Wii U, but in case I ever need a fight stick for that, I can use that plus a PS3 and Xbox 360.
Seriously?
Yeah, once you mod it, you'll be good to go. It's just that, you know, you gotta make sure you mod it the right way so there's no input lag, because then you pretty much screwed up completely.
Yeah, that's no good. I'm surprised that these things cost $200. Like I remember paying like $70 for them and getting pretty good equipment.
Is that their first fight stick?
In the late 90s,
they had one for the
early
360 as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in the day, I wouldn't have paid more than $80 for a fight stick. It blows my mind that they cost as much as they do now.
They cost between $150 and $200. Like that's the way it's been for a long time. Like because the regular fight sticks, which is like the smaller ones that can fit like the 6-button layout and the stick, it's actually, those are around $75, $70. You can get them as low as $50. But once it's the tournament editions, the ones you put on your lap, or the ones you put on the table, those right away are $150 to $200. And like the real good ones are over $200, but those are the ones that like you could use for more than one platform.
My question is, what the hell game are you going to play it on? I think there's like one fighting game on the Xbox One right now.
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
And that's going down right now. I think it's already over, too.
And that PS4 is going to have more games for the fight games, which for the Xbox, because like PS4 has Guilty Gears is coming out.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll come out with a new Blaze Blue or whatever later on, too.
They're going to do a whole bunch for the PS4. So all the Japanese games are going to move on to PS4 right now for the fighting games. So like the Guilty Gear is the first one they said it's announced, because it's going to be on that and PS3 and Vita. You'll be able to play Guilty Gear. So
now,
Razer never made any PS3 controllers. I wonder if they'll make any PS4 controllers, because they'll see that it's basically a PC and it's much more popular than the Xbox One.
Why didn't they ever make PS3 controllers?
They just didn't like it. They said publicly that they just didn't like the PS3. They didn't like it as a system. So they never made any. And the Razer Sabertooth is a damn good controller. I have one, and it's good. It's not quite as good as a SCUF controller, but it offers a lot of the same features for about it's $75 instead of $200.
so that's a win.
Yeah, it's a big discount, and it's a good controller.
Now, I actually got a question in our little notes over here, but I'll ask you guys now because it doesn't need to wait. EVO's happening right now, and there's a lot of competition and a lot of high hopes for winners and people excited to see these games. Me personally, I know 9 to 5. I mean, not too nerdy. You're also a fighting game fan. I'm a big fighting game fan, and I spent many years honing my skills on them. Are you guys fighting game fans at all? And if so, what is your favorite fighter?
I'll jump in. I love Street Fighter 2. I used to play it in the arcade all the time. I used to sink quarter after quarter onto that thing.
Which
Stick
edition?
my quarter up. Street Fighter 2, it didn't matter. In the arcade, it was Street Fighter 2 edition. Like, that's the one.
Street Fighter 2 edition.
There was no Turbo, Dash, or Super about it. It was just Street Fighter 2. That's what we had at our local arcade back when I used to play it. And it's even playing Street Fighter 4 on the PS3. What I was doing is I was like reliving fantasies of playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcade. That was one of the highlights of my video gaming life, was playing that game in the arcade.
Yeah, I remember walking into a bowling alley and seeing Street Fighter 2 for the very first time. And, up until that point, we really hadn't seen anything like that. I know people now are like, what the hell? You got to be kidding, right? My kids, they ask me, like, Dad, this used to look good. I'd say, shut up, Brett. I tell them, when I walked in the arcade and I saw Blanca doing the electricity or Chun-Li's lightning kick, my head almost exploded off my shoulders.
It was a huge leap in graphics.
I could not believe it. Couldn't believe it. I spent tons of dollars.
When they brought that home on the Super Nintendo, that was stupendous. It was amazing they were able to do that.
that might be the first time, BriarRabbit, that we actually saw arcade to home port that was that close. I don't think up until that point we saw anything that was actually that close. The Street Fighter 2, when it came to Super Nintendo, it was almost a carbon copy of the arcade.
Not when the game was new, anyway. Like, we got Centipede clones later that were close, or Galaga clones later, but not when Galaga was a new game in the arcades. You know, that we're talking Atari 2600 though at that point.
What about the rest of you guys? What are some of your favorite fighters?
Mine's Go. Not
no, you. It's all you.
Taking mine, so you can go. Oh, you go now. You go now. I'm
go.
Go. Mine's Virtual Fighter.
No. You hang up first.
No, you hang up.
You leave the call first. You get out of here first.
I'm not gonna hang up till I know you're not breathing on the other line.
Oh shit.
Mine's Virtual Fighter. I love Virtual Fighter, man.
That
game was so sick. Fuck all of them. Like the fourth one was the best one, but I loved the later ones because it was all about parrying and countering and all that shit. I'm all for that, like Soul Calibur style stuff too. That's cool. I'm more of a 3D fighter than just like whatever you call it, like platformer-esque, like where you can't move in different dimensions and like counter and turn around them. Yeah.
Well, Tekken, you really can't. I know exactly where you're coming from. Virtual Fighter to me, it was a pretty good game, especially when like Virtual Fighter 3 came out. That's when they really started the parrying dynamic. But to me, like Tekken, it even went further than that with their counters. But let's continue. Not too nerdy. You're up next.
Yes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I think that's the best Marvel vs. Capcom. The one right now, 3 is a little. I mean, it's fun and stuff like that, but like it's so many loopholes in that like people like do infinite loops and stuff over and over again, and it's just a little too chaotic. I mean, it's fun to see because you could be winning and then all of a sudden you got Phoenix, like Dark Phoenix in level 5, and then she could destroy your whole team. Like there's certain things you have to play for. Like you have to, it just switched up the whole game style, which I don't like. That's why I think Part 2 of that game was the best version, and I think the best place to play it was on the Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast had the best port of it, and Dreamcast had the best port of every arcade, in my opinion. Like every arcade game, Dreamcast had the most power to do it. To be honest with you. So
you have a copy of that?
So which one? Oh,
the Dreamcast version?
Yeah, I definitely have it somewhere. It's in.
You might have to make a video of that because
I can't. I can't download that game on PS3. They won't allow me to, which is stupid.
Why not?
They pulled it from that. That's why I didn't play with you that one day. They pulled it off the store, even though I own it. And I went to go download it. I like searched it and typed it in, and they still won't let me download it. It says this content does not exist anymore.
What?
I'm like, fuckers! I paid for it, man. I paid for it like 5 years ago.
Marvel doesn't want you to play that game anymore. They want everyone to move on.
That's crap. I mean, well, if you download something in the PSN, it should be in your downloads. And all you should have to do is go to your downloads list. You shouldn't have to search it 9 to 5. Go to your downloads and just scroll to the bottom.
I did. It only downloads the demo, and then when you launch it, it shows you the demo screen. You can play with the 2 characters, and then when you go to purchase, it just takes you into the store again.
Yes, because when you buy the game, if you go into your downloads list, you'll see the unlock. It'll be in there as well. It'll say Marvel vs. Capcom 2 unlock. You gotta download
do that?
Your downloads too, because they're full of crap. The demo is the full game.
Yeah, and then you pay to unlock it.
A few fucking kilobytes. It's like a key to unlock the demo, which is the full game.
And that's how people hacked the PS3 to begin with.
Fucking crooks.
Just saying.
These goddamn hackers. I can't stand it. Pirates.
When you talk about that in a previous episode, I mean last week.
I totally am against, pirates. Anyway.
Have that thing loaded up with like
Super Nintendo emulator and shit.
I got the PlayStation 5 one here, okay?
One time played Chrono Trigger on a Palm Pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Just to let you guys know, that's another one.
Yeah, they had every fucking character in that game.
That's the best one. That's the best Mortal Kombat. It had every character.
No, it wasn't the best.
It definitely was.
It wasn't the best. You think it's the best because they had a mass of characters, but they they nerfed pivotal characters in the game. They nerfed
Sub-Zero, which they should have, because he was
No.
overpowered. He
No.
he was overpowered every game before that, and that's why they nerfed him.
No, he may have been overpowered, but they nerfed him the wrong way to make him unpredictable. Because if you do a move,
That's
and
why.
sometimes it comes out and sometimes it doesn't, you might not
Because
get
the reason
result
why
that you're
before
looking for.
in Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, Sub-Zero
They
had
nerfed Cyrax too.
he had an infinite freeze loop. You can knock someone and freeze them over and over again, and that's why they nerfed him, because his freeze was ridiculous, and that's why they did. And
You can't see me in Mortal Kombat, son.
Huh?
I'm gonna see you on that
I
PlayStation.
know why. You're mad because you were Sub-Zero, weren't you? You played as Sub-Zero.
I'm playing with everybody.
He gets his ass kicked by Scorpion.
Be honest. In Mortal Kombat 2, who was your guy?
And in Mortal Kombat 2, Katana, Shang Tsung, Scorpion, Baraka,
Your main
Melina,
person. Who's your main person? Sub-Zero.
up in player one, random baby. What's happening? No.
You denied it. You know damn well it's Sub-Zero. That's why.
No. All joking aside, Sub-Zero was my Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 favorite character. But I'm a beast with all of them.
Hey, speaking of Mortal Kombat, what do you guys think of that game? Like they just showed Raiden or whatever.
Raiden. I said
Raiden.
Raiden. This ain't Metal Gear Solid.
Raiden.
Yeah.
I don't play with Raiden, so.
They showed Raiden. He looks really good. I'm excited to see him. I'm more excited for the new characters, but one thing I gotta say, the fatalities in Mortal Kombat X/10 are going to be fucking ridiculous. If you guys haven't seen Raiden's fatality that he did on this new character, they just announced him at EVO last night. The fatality he did, it looked like CG, but it's actually in-game. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna love that game, man. It's gonna be awesome.
They better have Cabal in there.
Well,
I
don't know.
All the robot guys, Cyrax and all those dudes.
Sector and
Yep, Sector.
Get Punked, do you get a favorite fighting game?
Not really. I was never into them.
Call of Duty versus Battlefield.
That's a good fighting game.
Fatality.
How
Every
about you,
shot.
Robbie? You got a favorite fighting game?
Well, I guess it's time for this. I do not give a crap about fighting games. They're all the same. I just don't care.
No. Can't be that way, son. What
You guys
about
remember
Mr.
this
Rabbit?
game from over at E3? This one that looks like a 1930s
Yeah.
cartoon?
Yeah.
A lot has been talked about this game recently. It's called Cuphead, and
Like he's giving
basically...
a blowjob or something. What is that?
Yeah, that is a little weird, isn't it? It looks like a
Serious blowjob.
1930s cartoon. What I'm hoping is they keep with the racism from the 1930s, because that's really where the charm and stuff came in. I thought.
Yeah. See blackface?
I'm
that was
thinking that guy right there.
That's
Right?
Uncle
There's the
Ed.
black guy. The only black guy is the devil.
When's that come out?
I'm thinking it's 2015, but I'm not sure.
The irony. White Devil. No,
You got one of each in our house.
Hey, a wise man said it doesn't matter if you're black or white. Just saying. Doesn't matter.
Wasn't that
He
Michael
doesn't-
Jackson?
If he didn't know what the hell he said, he didn't know what he was. What are you talking about? He found out when he got arrested, though.
Yeah.
All
Rest in
right.
peace.
Another thing I was looking at this week was a survey that opened a debate about YouTubers accepting money to put games on their channel, right? Like you've seen this a lot. It's, a YouTuber will get a contract with a game company, and they'll play that game, talk about how awesome it is, and then in the description, you'll actually see a link to go download that game. It happens a lot with free-to-play games. I've seen it with what's that World War II game on the PlayStation 4 right now? Warplanes or something like that.
With the planes,
yeah.
right?
War Thunder.
Warfighters.
War Thunder, yeah.
War Thunder.
Yeah.
there you go.
So there was a survey done. Basically, 99% of people who have channels under 5,000 subscribers had never done this. Had never done it. But 26% of YouTubers with channels over 5,000 subscribers have done it. And this was a survey that was done to YouTubers. So this was YouTubers answering the question for themselves. What do you guys think about this? Is it legit? Like, as long as the way I've always thought about it is, as long as you say, hey, I'm getting paid to show you this game, no big deal.
Well, you have to.
When you don't get paid.
That's the law. Like, you have to actually say it. That's a trick, but like they actually say that. If you don't say that, you could be held liable for that. And even all these companies and stuff like that, it depends, because there's a company, I'm not gonna say who it is, but a lot of us, I believe all of us are part. No, I'm not gonna say who it is, but anyway, the company allows this. You can actually do promotions online. If you go check the promotions, they show all the lists of the games that are offering these promotions, and you can click into it. And you can actually play that game, and you get paid per, I'm not gonna say amount or anything, but you get paid per if someone downloads the game. If they download it, and a lot of these games are free-to-play games anyway, so if the person downloads the game and tries it out, and they put your name or whatever they download using your link, then you get paid for it. And that's the way it works.
Send me that link, brother. I gotta pay rent.
So I mean, if you do it like that, I don't think it's a big deal if you're saying that, that you're trying this out and you're getting paid for it, or saying, like, you don't even have to say it, but at least put it in the description, like at the top, not at the bottom, so people can actually see it. And I mean, I guess it's not like a huge problem as long as like you're letting people know that you're doing it. But like, there's some people that don't follow the rules, and and like, it's FCC, right? It's FCC. I mean. Yeah. Anyway, like they require you to say that you're doing that for any blog or anything like that. It's just so people don't think that you actually like the game for yourself, and you're not letting them know that, hey, well, I'm also getting paid by this company, so of course naturally I might give them like a good review or something like that. That's
the problem, right? Is that people are pretending to review a game that they're getting paid for everybody who clicks that link. So they'll say how good the game is, but they won't actually say. I mean, and the FCC can't possibly enforce this law on YouTube, right? There's just too many videos to go through.
They can, though, like for random people, like, and that's the thing, like, it's the company that's held liable. I don't think the company will let that happen, because all these companies, they know now, they tell you that you have to say it. In fact, they research themselves. You don't get paid if you don't say that you were. That you are getting paid, or if you list in the description, they show you exactly how to do it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I watched a video this week from a YouTuber who's got 500,000 subs. He's a guy I watch all the time, and what he was doing was so clearly promoting a game that he was getting paid to promote. It was so clear, because he's so half-hearted about talking about how he likes this game. It's just so clear. But he never said that he's getting paid for it, and he never listed it in the.
For example, Boogie, Boogie, right? Boogie, he says all the time, anytime you ever question if he's getting paid for something, he said, always look in the description every single time I list if I'm getting paid by this company, or if I'm doing a special promotion for this company, or they gave me a gift. Here's what they gave me, what happened, and he says, look in the description. That's the way you can tell.
He rarely will post a video that he's not getting paid for, as far as gameplay goes. He doesn't really post gameplay on his channel.
Yeah, he has a separate gameplay channel. He has 2 channels. Like, he posted on that, and he live streams. That's when he does the gameplay. He doesn't do anything but live streaming that. But yeah. So what were you saying?
BriarRabbit, you were saying that very few people under the 5,000 subscriber mark do, and 26% of people above 5,000 do.
Yeah, 99% people under the 5,000 subscriber mark have not done it.
I know you're like 10 subscribers from 5,000, so I'm just doing a hypothetical. I can hear it now. Hi, I'm BriarRabbit. This video is paid for and sponsored by Pornhub. Leisure Suit Larry is an incredible game. I love this game.
If that crossed my plate, you're damn right I would take it.
Yeah.
I would probably do a series.
See, me personally, I don't think I'll do it unless it's like a game I actually was planning to play anyway. Or like...
Yeah. Once you do it, too, you kind of... There's a certain amount of credibility you lose.
Yeah.
Even if you're upfront about it. But if YouPorn was the one doing it, things might look a little different.
I totally agree.
I mean,
the thing what this YouPorn is, I'll be honest with you.
It's technically like that all the time, though. That's why people have to watch out for reviews, because what do you think the reviewers get their review copies from? They have connections.
Now, I think
trust reviews anywhere anymore.
I think a paid review, I think if someone's getting paid to review something, all credibility at that point, unless they're being totally honest and being objective about it. If you get paid to do a review and the game is just great, that casts doubt on your video in itself because you're getting paid to do it. You know, whenever there's money involved, who's not happy to get money? You know, it makes everything look better. I'm getting paid for this. This game would have been okay, but I just got paid a few $100. This game is fucking awesome. I mean, who wouldn't think that?
It's not just the money, though. It's the fact that you're getting the game early or something like that. So if you do give a bad review, you think they're going to hop to it to give you the next copy for next game? See, that's the thing a lot of people question. It's not just the money itself. It's the things that they get. When you get something early and you get it ahead of time, that's a perk. That's something that not others are going to do. And for you to keep a relationship with the game publishers and stuff like that to get that early copy, if you go get the early copy and you totally put down the game completely, you think you're going to be on their top list?
You're not coming back.
You're not coming back. Like they could choose who they give the games to. Of course, if you're like the top writer or editor at like a big company, of course they're not just going to block you out. They're going to have to accept it because they know that you, like if you work for IGN or GameSpot, they know that you're there, so they're not going to ditch you because then you'll write an article about that and totally screw them over. So, but if you're just like a regular YouTuber that gets a video early, if you don't, if you really say something harsh, there's ways to say positive things and negative things too. There's also, you could say things in a positive way and a negative way. If you really don't like something, you can say it without, that's not in a rude way as well. So you also have to watch what you say, one of my old bosses had a book that was, there's like this law about when people ask you for references that you can't be negative when you give somebody a reference. And if somebody asks you for one, you don't necessarily have to give it to him. This guy was a really terrible employee, asked my boss for a reference. So he went out and bought this book about how to like code word references. So they initially sound positive, but the deeper you read into them, it's all negative.
What's the name of that book? I can't
remember. It was a long time ago.
Wow, that's funny.
I'd like to see a review like that. That'd be fun. I've seen, actually, IGN has done that a couple of times that I've noticed. I can't remember in regards to what. But it was like you would initially read it as a positive review, but if you kind of like looked at the subtext a little bit more, it was like, maybe they didn't like this so much.
Let's talk about...
Suggestions are, I wish this game was better. 9 out of 10.
Have you guys heard about Neversoft being fully absorbed into Infinity Ward?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Months ago.
No. They actually...
It was actually quite a while ago it happened. It was a few months ago. I heard about that.
Well, they started out as a partnership working together on a game, but now Neversoft itself, their name is gone.
Yeah, they're merged with Infinity Ward. That was a few months ago they posted that article. I remember reading that.
Yeah.
IGN just posted it again for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they burned
months ago.
They post... Wait, sorry, what happened?
It's like a Twilight Zone episode or something. The things happen faster in Canada. You just get news down here, man. This is ridiculous.
Time goes way faster here. We're in the future already. We're like months ahead. Yeah, I thought you knew all of this.
I think you have a DeLorean in your backyard. Okay, but go ahead.
I was just watching Back to the Future last night. That's funny. Yeah, I do have a DeLorean right there. So.
I just want to say you're both right. They did announce it a long time ago, but what happened was they made it official, and they also burned their logo.
The logo, the eye, yeah.
Yeah, like they burned that. So like they just made it official, but technically it was already there, but they really made it official and announced it because it takes a while for stuff like that to happen. But
see, Robbie, don't even go there. I know I'm talking about.
I just messed up so bad. I know.
Just to let you guys know, just to be a positive person, you're both wrong.
The voice of reason.
We're both wrong in some context or another. We both, no matter how you look at it, we messed up in one way or another.
Does anybody care about this? What's the last thing Neversoft put out besides working on Call of Duty? I remember they used to be good for Tony Hawk games.
Yeah, Tony Hawk. The only thing I remembered about them was their damn logo.
Yeah, that's all I remember is Tony Hawk games from them, and they were awesome back in the day.
And they only worked on Ghost with Infinity Ward, right?
They did Guitar Hero as well.
Did they do Guitar Hero?
Yep.
Yes. Good stuff, young buck. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, guys, Guitar Hero, how did you forget?
I'm black. Do you think I played damn Guitar Hero?
Dude, I played DJ Hero.
Yeah, we did that too. Nobody, don't forget.
Now, if they made fried chicken Hero, I would have won. I would've played that.
Oh, that's wrong, man. That's wrong.
They made Kentucky Hero.
Shit.
Rice and beans here over here.
Mayonnaise hero. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
All right, what do we got next? I know. Oh, how about early access games? Okay, so early access games like what's that game? DayZ.
H1Z1.
Huge. Yeah, huge on the PC. Now they're talking, especially on the PS4 side, they're talking about bringing this activity over to the consoles. So basically what this is you pay for early access to a game, and you're basically paying to play an alpha or a beta build of the game. What do you guys think about this coming over to consoles? BC, go first.
I think it's great. I mean, it all depends on the consumer. How bad do you want to play a game? If a game's coming out in 6 months, you get an opportunity to play it in 3. Who wouldn't pay for that? I mean, it just gives the consumer so much more flexibility. And I think it's a win for everybody because you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. But, yeah, definitely. I mean, not only that, the publisher, the developer gets to make a little extra money. You get to play a game that you obviously have been wanting to play earlier than everybody else. It's a win for everybody.
9 to 5 gamers, what do you think? Early access on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One?
I think it's cool because in an aspect we've all been playing the Battlefield beta. You know what I'm saying? Like shit's
that
broke.
doesn't feel that cool to me, man.
Yeah, and you spent $60 on that. You know? No, I'm saying like if you're already paying for it and you're gonna get it when it's actually fixed, that's what they should have did with Battlefield the whole time.
Yeah. Instead, we get Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah, which
Battlefield 4 beta.
Which I'd rather play Battlefield 4.
Not too nerdy. What do you think? I know you're gonna have a different.
Right, sure. I'm gonna go back to the 2000s and see here's what happened, right? In the 2000s, let's just pretend we're a big publisher out there, and we're gonna be like, I'm kind of tired of paying game testers. How about we release betas and let the people do it for free? And then wait a second, this is what gets better. How
They'll
about
pay us.
we now let them pay us to play the game early and test it for us? Genius. Sold.
It is
That's
genius.
all
It is. It works so well.
You're doing the game tester's job because they don't have to pay for game tester anymore. They're letting the people be the game testers, which is fine. But then now, on top of it, you're paying us to test the game for us. it's
early access.
To get early access to the game that's not finished. It's like say you're playing a game that involves a train, and then it just stops because the track isn't finished. They're gonna add one track at a time. Like they don't have to finish the game. They just do a certain section, and you're stuck in that section until they add a new section to the game. Like I don't know. For me, like if you want to, that's fine, but that's why people screwed up. They were pissed off with DayZ. They paid $20 and they realized, wait a second, there's nothing here.
Yeah, it's an alpha.
The thing is, though, not too nerdy, I think it can actually be beneficial because they had to have game testers testing games like Fallout.
Somebody's getting yelled at over there.
She about to whoop your ass, man.
Watch back in.
Like games like Fallout New Vegas, it came out incredibly fucked, to say the least. If they had released, early access to that game, and more people had a chance to get into it and test out and see all the bugs, then we probably would have got a better product. So I think ultimately, it'll if you have more eyes looking at one particular focal point, you're going to notice more imperfections. You're going to notice more issues, and ultimately it'll get back to the developer, and they'll have more of a chance of repairing all these issues rather than paying a few testers to go through. Because when you're game testing, you're not going to see everything that happens in the game. You're not going to be in every part of every stage. But if you got a vast open horizon of people playing the game, and everybody's doing something different, everybody's playing it a little bit differently, you got more of a chance to see all these issues, and they'll come back to the developer. So I think it's actually better.
I don't know if you realize, a lot of these betas, though, aren't real betas. Betas is not the term anymore. When they give you a beta game, it's almost finished. It's really not that. They're worried about, well, should we keep this in this game or should we just switch it up, add something new? It's not about testing the game itself. Most of these betas are completed products. That's why you saw Destiny the way it came out. That's the way it is. Like, betas are not the same betas as we used to know. That's why the alpha version of Destiny is not really an alpha version either. That's technically a beta. So like it's just
hear Peter Dinklage's voice. That was clearly alpha.
It's a way for you to get excited. That's why they give you incentives to pre-order the game. They're trying to find ways to give you incentives to pre-order a game, and that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. But the thing is, I agree with betas. Betas are not a bad thing, because betas do help the servers. That's the main thing. It helps to understand the servers, what they have to add new servers, if they can hold the amount of gamers that are going to be playing on it. That's what betas help for more than anything else. But now you're going to a whole new level of prepaying for something. That's pretty much like a Kickstarter. That's pretty much what you're doing. You're kickstarting a company. You're helping them fund the game before it's finished. So, and that's before you even pre-order the game. So, like, it's a whole new thing. You're like funding and helping the company out before they even show you a finished product. And that's up to you if you want to do that. But I'm just saying, like, that's their way of getting help. I don't know if you realize that. When technically they should be, that's part of their funding. They should be putting money towards, quality
figuring out the
assurance.
problems themselves. Okay.
Quality assurance is part of it, and a lot of companies do not like quality assurance. That's why they release things, even hardware. That's why they release consoles. They release things without testing as much as they used to test them, because they rely on the people to be the beta testers. So
I completely agree with you, not too nerdy, but I do see the value of getting a game early that you're really passionate about. You know, if you love DayZ mod and you really couldn't wait to like start playing DayZ, even though you're plenty familiar with the bugs, or you're plenty happy to, send in those bug reports to the company. Like, I totally understand on both levels. Like, I understand that yes, we're now getting paid to have testers, but as a game game enthusiast, I can understand why people want to be that person. Like, if Destiny was available right now and I had to pay $20 to be a beta tester, I'd be there.
the thing is, I just think it's ironic because people, I agree with what you're saying, a lot of people would say it like that, but it's also ironic because if you recall, Metal Gear Solid came out, Ground Zeroes, right? That was pretty much a small portion of what's coming out later. They gave you a pre-sample before the game's finished, and what did people say? Oh, they charge you too much, the game's not complete, it's not a finished product. Wait a second, so you're going to pay for do the same exact thing that's not finished to give you a sample of what the finished product's going to be like? That's the same exact thing. They just called it a different game, but it's the same game, just torn down for people. So
we could have wrapped that in a different piece of wrapping paper and probably had a better result with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Briar, and not too nerdy, that game sold tons. I mean,
exactly.
Commercially, it was very successful. I mean, it wasn't like it did bad or mediocre. It was like in the top 3 for like 3 weeks in a row. It sold huge numbers. So when people basically vote with their wallets like that, what are developers going to do? They're going to say, hey, look, Kojima did it. We can do something similar. People are going to always pay a premium to get something earlier, get something before anybody else can, or get their hands on something that they want passionately. And it works. People pay for it. And in a situation like
how many times can you get away with that, right? It's like, you sold 1 million copies of this thing that people aren't necessarily happy with. How many times are you going to get away with that? I mean, there's 2 ways to sell something, right? You can try and sell a guy 3 cars at the same time, or you can try and sell a guy 8 cars over the course of his entire life. And every time this guy needs a car, he's going to be coming to you because he had such a great experience with the car. Or you can just try and sell him the most expensive car that he doesn't need that first time, and you might never see the guy again because he's going to have buyer's remorse afterward. A lot of this is packaging. Like DayZ, I think a lot of people aren't happy with what's happening with DayZ. I mean, the original guy who was in charge of the whole thing,
no longer even with it.
Yeah, he's not even there anymore. So, like, what did I buy here? I thought I was buying into this guy, like, making the game I've always wanted. So that's kind of stuff is hard, and like brands are a thing. Like, you want to keep your brand like in a positive consumer light, and you've got to make decisions along the way with that in mind. So Metal Gear Solid and Kojima, they have to be making decisions here that say, yeah, we want to keep Metal Gear Solid fans coming. We don't want to piss them off this time. We don't want to piss them off the next time. yeah, we want their money, but we also want them happy to be given over their money. We want them to feel like they're getting value for their money.
With all due respect, though,
that's the issue.
I think Ground Zeroes, I think that game was marketed absolutely wrong. I think that for $29, you got plenty of content. I think that they came out and they basically stuck their foot in their mouth with this 2 hours worth of content thing. Because there's tons of gameplay in that game. I don't even want to call it a demo because there's so much stuff you can do. Now, in any other situation, it might be more believable, but in a situation like Ground Zeroes, they kind of screwed themselves by limiting or speed running through the game and not talking about any of the other avenues that you could take, how long that this game actually could take. And so that just put a bad taste in the mouth of the consumers in general. When you see these huge news outlets talking about a 2-hour game for $30, of course everybody's going to raise Cain and say it's not worth it. But when you actually flesh out the game, you take your time, you enjoy it, you probably got 20 hours worth of gameplay. It's so much stuff that you can do, and I think it was really worth the $29. I think that could go ahead.
The problem with it nowadays is a lot of people, if they've beaten the game and seen the credits roll, they're like, "Fuck it, I'm done," and they won't do any of the side shit, no matter what it is, man.
I'm like that. I mean, there's so many games to play. Aside from the stuff that I'm really getting involved with the multiplayer with, or the stuff that really has its hooks into me, I don't want to go back and find every piece of paper that's floating around, or every this or every that. I'm just not interested. I'd rather just start a new game with a brand new experience.
So, Briar, basically, you need closure. Okay. I need you to refresh my drink. But what I was gonna say was, here's the problem. I have no problem with this early access thing. I think it's actually, it might be a good thing if it's a proven company with a proven record and knows what they're doing. But here's the problem. How long, if we accept this now, how long before companies like indie game companies, people that haven't made games yet, are going to ask you for this early so that they, in hopes of them making a game, and it's going to be incomplete when it's finished? Because that's exactly what's the problem with Kickstarter and Indiegogo. That's how it started. That people started funding money in hopes that these people are going to do things, and in the end, they didn't have finished products. And that's what I see.
Fine. They got a Kickstarter going, and they released half a game.
Yeah, that's why I have a feeling that it's heading towards that direction where you're funding them to complete a game. To make a game. You're being their fund. This is basically what Kickstarter is doing. Just, here you go. This is going to do it on the consoles and PC. Like, here, we're going to let you do a portion, but we need more funding. So we're going to, as we build more, you guys get to play more type thing. And how bad is that going to be? Because everyone's going to try to do that. Why wouldn't you? And then what's it going to be? You're going to start paying for games, and what's the motivation for them to finish it on time or early? Because they'll push it back because they're going to keep getting money from you guys to continue playing the game.
Or they just keep coming up with stretch goals, like, hey, what's that Mega Man game, Mighty Number 9, right? Where they just put in a stretch goal saying, okay, we've already got, I don't know how much money, but now we want American voice actors, English voice actors.
Yeah, they're making a TV series and shit.
Yeah.
That's slightly different because he does have a proven record. He did Mega Man, so that's what I meant. Someone that has a proven record, it's okay. But that's the thing. I don't know, because he was.
If I had put money toward that Kickstarter and now I'm waiting for them to put English voice acting in, I'd be pissed.
Well, because the thing is, the whole thing Japanese. I don't know. That's up in the air because I feel like he was there, but I'm talking about a brand new person who's never proven himself yet. That's what I'm scared of.
An indie studio or someone who's just starting out. They want you to make some kind of financial commitment with nothing to show for it. And I guess when that time comes, we as consumers kind of got to cross that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully we're smart enough to say, hey, look, you haven't shown me anything. I don't know exactly what you're making. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't even know if you're going to finish it. I'm not going to give you my money. That's what, to me, a smart consumer would do. But when you've got huge studios and people who have a proven background, Hideo Kojima, he has a proven background. He's made these games over and over again. I don't mind as much making a financial commitment to something that they're pushing out versus one of these indies or someone new just starting out. So I totally agree with you.
All right, that's cool. Good talk.
No sound effect. All right.
Sorry.
Hey guys. All right. So I've been slacking on the weird question, but I thought about one this week.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was the clap. I literally thought we were going to do it together. Like, of course, I'm the only idiot that's clapping. Continue.
All right. So imagine a world. Imagine a world where you. Okay. Imagine a world where aliens come, or like some like situation comes where somebody says to you, "We're gonna delete all the games from this console." Right? You're never gonna get to play them. You never have gotten to play them. They didn't happen, and that includes any game that was cross-platform. So let's say I pick the NES, and the same game came out on the Master System. That game never happened on the Master System either. So you lose not only the experience of playing that game, but also the legacy that game created. So, like, let's say I picked Wolfenstein. Maybe we never get the first-person shooter stuff coming after that, right?
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So here's the two systems that you're going to have to pick from.
Oh shit! I didn't know you were gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Every game.
Scary, bro.
Every game that came out on this system is getting deleted from everything. Like
You
you've never
brainstormed this one.
Commodore 64. We're okay if we choose that one. Oh yeah, it's a safe one.
You've never played it. It has not influenced games since then, so you have to like take that into effect. And like, well, that's it. Okay, so
I need notes. Do that again. Let me write this down.
here are the two systems.
Let me get my notepad out and write all this.
You either get to keep the Super Nintendo and all its cross-platform games. So think about all the cross-platform games that were between
the best
it
games ever made.
and the Mega Drive. Yeah, and the PlayStation.
Those are my favorites. All right.
Yeah, of course they are.
Wow, this sucks.
Let's start with you, not too nerdy, because you always get your answer bogarted.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. So, all right, so let me understand it. So I only pick one of the systems, right?
Right.
And I can only pick one game that's never existed for the first.
No. Every game that ever appeared on that system is getting deleted.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It never existed.
Yeah.
Right? You've never played it. You never get to experience it again. Plus, anything that it influenced, it's never an influence, right? Okay, so let me think. Like, imagine if Gears of War just got deleted.
Yeah.
You never get the roadie run. We never get that third-person perspective kind of, like, done right.
All right, there's someone else got to go first. Because I swear.
If an arcade game came out first and then was ported over to that system later,
nope,
you still get to keep the arcade?
Deleted.
But the arcade was here first.
Hey, life's hard, Beasley.
Life is hard, Beasley.
So, I'm like, not. All right, someone else go. I need to understand this better. I'm like.
This is a terrible question.
I know, like. So, wait, so the point is I have to pick a game that. Just pick a game now?
You have to pick a console.
You're picking a console.
Every game that's ever been out on that console, cross-platform, anything that's ever been touched on that system, that entire franchise is wiped from history. So, if you pick the Super Nintendo, Street Fighter appeared on Super Nintendo. Therefore, the arcades never existed. Therefore, Street Fighter 4 never exists in the future. Everything that ever touched that platform is gone. This is the worst question ever. Good job, Briar.
But with Sony, it still touched Street Fighter, but it's only touched it with Street Fighter EX, if I'm correct. I don't know if
Street Fighter 4.
Street Fighter's ever come there?
Oh, no,
Third Strike.
Alpha was
Third, all those, yeah.
But Street Fighter 2 still exists, right?
Well, Street Fighter 2 was on Super Nintendo, so, I mean...
And it was on Sega, and it was in the arcade, so...
The arcade was first, that's what I was asking him for. That was what I was actually confused.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2 was also on PlayStation 2. They did all the remakes for them.
Street Fighter 2 on the... Oh, that's right, they did. They did.
He didn't think this deep. He didn't think too deeply. So how would that work? If you pick one versus the other?
If it appeared on that console, it's gone.
Well, that means you'll never have Street Fighter either way because Street Fighter's been on Super Nintendo and so you just Xing Street Fighter out. What the hell? Mortal Kombat?
It's gone. Period. Fighting games as a whole are pretty much affected by that.
Life sucks, Beasley.
What the hell do we get? We get Guitar Hero? This is crap.
What was that? Eternal Champions came out on
Sega Genesis.
Yeah, so
Chrono Trigger. No, that came out. They also came out another one. Part 2 came out in PlayStation.
Oh, God.
Can I go? I'll go.
No, Chrono Trigger if Chrono Trigger never came out on PlayStation,
No, it did.
it did.
They
But
had a
Chrono Trigger
3D
2
version.
Oh, they did.
They had a 3D version of that game. I forgot what it's called, but they had a 3D
Chrono
version.
Cross.
Yeah, Chrono Cross was on the PlayStation.
Yep.
That's right. All right, wait, I thought that was a sequel.
Well, that's not Chrono Trigger. It's a totally different game. Chrono
But
Cross
it's-
is totally
isn't it-
different. It's made by the same developer, and it's kind of in the same universe, but it's a different game.
I thought it was the same universe in 3D, though. It's in the 3D world of it.
Chrono Cross is like the evolution of Chrono Trigger. It's like I guess it would be a spiritual successor, but it's not the same game.
Okay, so that would count then?
Yeah, you'd still get Chrono Trigger, but you'd lose Chrono Cross with the
That's
PlayStation.
okay. That's not the good one.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is a good one. This is a fucked up question.
No,
And not too nerdy said somebody else go first. I want to bite the bullet. And as much as I love The Last of Us, which to me is one of the best games of all time,
Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't
I
do
gotta
it.
say that the Super Nintendo gets to stay, because the Super Nintendo, they really were a staple. They had so many different games on the SNES. We had first-person shooters on it. We had fighting games on it. And if these games didn't exist, we wouldn't have what we have now. We wouldn't get the Street Fighters. We wouldn't get the Mortal Kombats, as per Mr. BriarRabbit's rules.
Not my rules, man. It's the fucking aliens' fault.
Damn you, aliens!
Aliens,
Yeah,
bitch!
Where the
As much-
fucking men in black at?
As much as I'd love to keep the PlayStation really wouldn't even. It wouldn't be nearly as fun. I mean, it'd be fun. You get Uncharted and stuff. You get The Last of Us, but a lot of the games I grew up playing wouldn't even exist.
So you'd rather keep Final Fantasy VI than Final Fantasy VII?
God damn it! But wouldn't all the Final Fantasies disappear because Final Fantasy actually existed on Super Nintendo? So only the ones on SNES.
Yes, though.
It started on, but you said the arcade, which was a precursor to the Super Nintendo and Street Fighter, the arcade didn't exist, so the Nintendo games still exist. What kind of cockamamie rules are these?
Because if it came out on
These aliens are
PS1, it would be
assholes.
My fucking BriarRabbit.
it would be a
We
new
gotta
IP.
We got an alien walking around cracking a whip. Nope, that's not good.
I can't have that. Nope. It was in a PlayStation collection.
You know what,
let me
guys?
go.
Go
All right,
ahead.
go ahead.
I would pick Sony, but mainly for media aspect, because they made the DVD what it was, and they made
Blu-ray.
the Blu-ray what it is. You know, like, yeah, they have great exclusives, but their systems are pretty much changed the media aspect of the world.
But what if the aliens told you
true.
that their hardware stayed no matter what?
You
Huh?
shut up, EC.
Shut up.
you like try to make it even more difficult.
It's the fucking aliens, man.
It's all the goddamn aliens' fault.
That's a good answer. I mean, they did. I would say the PlayStation moved technology along more than the Super Nintendo did. I mean, Super Nintendo was.
Not to mention, look at where the systems are now. Look at it, like it's towards the future. You know what I'm saying? The PS4 is fucking killing everything right now, and the Wii U has no third-party support. You know, granted they make really amazing games, but their third-party support is zero. Oh yeah, by the way, where's that Watch Dogs at? I'm just saying. Fucking that game ain't coming out.
It ain't, no.
All right, Robbie, are you ready to Bogart Not Too Nerdy's answer?
Well, actually, so here's what console I would delete. I would delete the SNES and get rid of all those fighting games, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, everything. The cancer of the industry that refuses to change, get rid of all that shit. It's just gone. It's gone. No more cancerous fighting games. Street Fighter, just fuck all of it. Get rid of all that cancer. We don't need that anymore. Just cut the cancer up. The industry would be so good without all those fighting games that just don't change.
You, sir, are not right.
Well, I'm going to screw up everyone's day. Ready for this?
Yeah.
I just don't want.
If you get rid of the Super Nintendo, you get rid of Sony, because Sony started out helping Nintendo. They were part of Nintendo.
That's a
and
good
without
point.
the Super
I'm out.
Nintendo,
Forget about
there
that.
wouldn't be Sony in the future. Just to say.
Well, they actually were going to team up together to create the
And
Sega
then
CD competitor.
Nintendo went with Panasonic.
Yeah.
And then that's how they divided, and that's why Sony made the PlayStation to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
So all you guys that said no to Super Nintendo, fuck y'all.
that means that you're screwed too. There's no PlayStation either. That's
All
what I.
What would you do,
So
Brian?
what would you pick though between the two?
I
Like
would
if
have
one
to
of them
pick
had to go. What's that?
If one of them had to go,
Give
Yeah.
me something.
I mean,
It's not Sony PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. It's just the Sony PlayStation, the first one.
And
yeah.
Technically-
but that's what I'm saying. Without
technically, Nintendo made the analog too, if you think about it.
Yep.
no,
the first
actually,
person ever come out with the analog stick, N64.
64,
Nope.
man. 64.
nope.
The
What?
It's two. There's in television also.
Oh, you're bringing up some shit I've never
Sorry.
seen.
The Atari, both of them, they had analog sticks way before Nintendo did.
You're like bouncing. You're giddy. You're like
Yeah. He's like, yeah, that shit ain't true, bitch. That shit ain't true.
So which one would you pick? You have to pick one, not too nerdy. Which one would you pick?
I mean, because I love the PlayStation. You know, I have nostalgia over the original PlayStation.
Am I gonna have to leave again? Oh god. No.
No
I
Metal
don't know.
Gear.
I think it would have to. If I had to get rid of one, I would have to get rid of. I would have to get rid of PlayStation. I feel like without the Super Nintendo, there wouldn't be a PlayStation or anything. And I really still feel like that. There's nothing there that was revolutionary. They literally went when they started doing the bits in that game. 16-bit was a big change. That's where you started seeing games the way it was, and it was a big. That's also where console wars started. The original one between Sega Genesis or Nintendo. You know, Sega does what Nintendo don't. Like that whole thing started with Super Nintendo, and I feel like they're needed more than because they're the ones that made gaming fun. They're the ones that made people want to play a video game. That's when most people started playing video games, was on the Super Nintendo, even more so than Nintendo, I believe, because I think Nintendo was there, but then that Super Nintendo made it more mainstream. So
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with get rid of PlayStation.
I'm
which
drawn
sucks.
toward answering PlayStation 4 or PlayStation because so much of the 3D revolution like started on that console, right? It's like you started with like first person, you started with third person, you started with 3D graphics. The first time I really saw 3D graphics on home, you know, I saw like a little bit with the VFX chip that with
This FX chip.
FX chip.
yeah, a little bit of it. But when I really started seeing it was with the PlayStation, bringing home Ridge Racer for the first time and Tekken for
Ridge
the first
Racer!
time. Even what was it, Battle Arena Toshinden? I was blown away by that game, even though the
Sophia
gameplay kind
Flexi.
of sucked. Twisted Metal, I really want to go because 3D. Super Nintendo was like to me the highlight of the 2D game systems. It was truly amazing. It was so lush and beautiful. But PlayStation was 3D and really started us on the path we're on now.
What do you choose?
I don't know.
Don't make us choose. Don't.
Yeah, this is a sick question, by the way.
Don't. My life's a rain.
This is like
a
Saw.
lie.
This is like Saw for video games.
My life's a lie. You said get rid of PlayStation.
There is no right
It's all
answer.
gone.
Yes,
No,
there is.
There isn't.
There's a right answer. Someone has to tell us at the end what the right answer is.
There is a right
The
answer.
correct answer is nuke the aliens.
Oh, yeah. or just make them believe that the Atari Jaguar was the best system.
Be like, no, you
Ooh,
definitely
yeah.
want this. Look at all these buttons.
Ooh, yeah, Master
Look
Race.
at all these buttons.
Looks like a damn TV controller. You can do anything on it.
You can control your spaceship with this shit.
Had like 6 games.
Wait, so do we have to like steal an actual aircraft and make our way up to the mothership and actually drop a nuclear strike in there?
Hey,
And leave?
totally.
you played Fallout 3 before. You know how to do this shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like Independence Day, like we have to make our way up to the mothership and then try to escape in time, just to the last second.
That's
Yeah.
Which
right.
makes a lot of sense.
I'll bring the cigars. You do the math.
At the damn calculator. And that was an awesome question, Briar.
I was gonna
The
go.
next one.
I was gonna go
Killing
between the 360 and the PS3, but then I started thinking about, I bet it's harder if you do like 2D versus 3D?
Well, I mean, that's a really deep question. You could really sit and think for hours on this question, because you could actually look at some of the franchises that started on Super Nintendo and how they've translated into modern games. And then if you think about some of the first party and some of the exclusives on the PlayStation, it's a really hard question.
Are we still playing any games that started on the PlayStation? We're definitely playing games that started on the Zelda or on the Super Nintendo, like Zelda.
Well, Ridge Racer started on PlayStation.
Are there new Ridge Racer games still?
Tekken started on
Tekken 7's coming out.
Yeah, Tekken 7 just got leaked. Hopefully it's good.
Technically, Twisted Metal, because we did have it for PS3, they didn't announce it for PS4 yet, but you never know. They already have it for PS3, so Twisted Metal's there, and I mean, if you want to consider...
Metal Gear. Oh, Ratchet and Clank is another one.
Yeah,
Metal
Gear.
Remastered on PS4.
Metal Gear Solid.
I got Final Fantasy. It's been forever. But even though it didn't start on there, but...
All the Uncharted's.
Hypothetical question,
Technically, they made Jack and Dexter.
I had a 5-minute conversation with some friends yesterday, and I listened to their answers. I want to hear you guys. You guys are professionals, and I want to hear what you think.
That's right.
If they made
Professionals with our Pornhub hats on.
Fix your name tag. I got a question for you guys. If they just did a straight HD remake of Final Fantasy VII, do you think it would be a huge commercial success?
No.
They wouldn't be able to make a straight HD remake. They'd have to revamp the whole
They'd have to
game
redo it,
pretty much. Yeah, it would sell like crack, I think.
Yeah, what do you mean no, BriarRabbit? You don't think it would sell?
That game is so old at this point. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. It would sell just because the hype is so big. But I don't know. What is that game that just came out of this world? That was the old.
Yeah.
That game just came out, and I mean, most of the reviews I'm reading are this game plays like shit, and I think that's what people would say about Final Fantasy VII at this point. The mechanics are old. You have to grind so much. Your choices are so binary. We're used to these open world RPGs at this point, where you're making decisions based on morality and how you'd actually do it. Even Final Fantasy has really progressed past Final Fantasy VII. I think people would be shocked by how limiting that game was.
I think it'd have more nostalgia than anything. Like if you came out with one that had better graphics visually, it was high def. They switched the camera angles because they'd have to. They made it so you had free roam angles with the other joystick and all that. It would be great, but that shit was never gonna happen.
Stop crushing my dreams, BriarRabbit. That's not Too Nerdy's job.
Hey, that's true. Hey, that's like a Pacquiao Mayweather fight, dude. That ain't never happening.
Yeah, I know, right? You better sprinkle some fairy dust if you think that's gonna happen.
I don't even know if it'd be a good decision. They'd have to. I think they'd be better off doing a Final Fantasy VII 2 than just trying to recreate the magic that it was.
Or they could just try to make Advent Children into a game. That would be cool as hell. Because those were all the Final Fantasy VII characters, damn near.
It did. It's called Crisis Core for PSP.
Fuck that game. But man, when people were coming into GameStop buying that game, I was like, you are fucking high.
Did you play it? It's really fun.
It got good reviews, but I hated the PSP, dude. I really did. Other than Monster Hunter, I fucking hated that system.
Well, look, this is for you.
Yeah, you got Super Nintendo working on there? Then it's worth playing.
Yeah.
I would rather them make Metal Gear Solid, the original, over again.
Oh,
I think that would work better.
That came out too. It's on the GameCube.
No, I mean make it completely over with different characters with the graphics we have today, and make that same story over again. I think
that would work better than Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, because then that would be awesome. And then they already have the HD remakes for the other ones that look good, so they can make that one over and put it all together in one disc.
Before you guys get any of this shit, though, I want my check in the Forever Man remake.
Okay.
Speaking of Metal Gear, did you hear David Hayter is probably going to be in Metal Gear?
Yeah, I heard that.
As Solid Snake.
He is.
That would be
He's
baller.
Solid Snake. That's what it is. He's Young Snake.
He tweeted out that he's absolutely not in this game.
Yeah, that means that he definitely is.
Yeah, that's some He told him to send that out.
He had to make it clear that he's not in there, so, correcting the people or tweeting him. That means that he's in there. Like he's there, and that's Kojima's sick little twisted mind of his that he loves fooling people like that. That guy is weird, but he's awesome. Like he's
Popped up, but he's awesome at the same
he's
time.
awesome.
That you guys are talking about to modern day graphic remakes, Resident Evil 1.
Oh my God.
Director's cut.
Or 2
What-
would be good too.
Yeah,
Two
they
would be
made that
good.
already on the GameCube.
I don't
Yeah, but
count
I'm talking
that.
about like the PS4 quality graphics,
Yeah.
like the Order 1886 graphics. Okay,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 1.
I don't know.
Good
Do you
idea.
think that game would hold up?
Hell yeah, you out of your mind?
I think, to be honest with you, the funny thing is, I think that one is the scariest one because the way they made it suspenseful with like the door open slowly and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and the way you go up the steps, like they did little things that made it like scary, like that.
The,
You know,
the scariest thing about that game was the fact that you couldn't move your character. It was like a tank. You had to like rotate them, and that shit wouldn't hold up.
It worked.
You gotta
though.
make a game where your character moves like that.
It
No,
worked
no,
because when you try to run away from the zombies, you're running into a wall. Like, no!
It made it even scarier, yeah.
A lot of the scariest shit happened because the camera angle couldn't move either. Like
That's
you would
true.
be in one spot and then it would pop out where you are. It's like, what the fuck?
Dude,
I don't necessarily mean remaking in the same control scheme. I'm talking about maybe a third person.
But that's like a whole new game. If you don't have that same control scheme, you have to reimagine the whole game at that point.
And
No,
add
yeah.
more
I mean,
enemies and
no,
stuff.
I mean look what they did with Tomb Raider. They've remade Tomb Raider, and it's not the exact same controls as.
Oh, so you're just like a brand new start for an old
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I want
that
the
works.
same story, but I want that game with with some great writers and people who really know how to scare the shit out of people
Oh,
behind
I'm on
it,
board.
with graphics like the Order 1886. That
Yeah,
would be.
I love the Tomb Raider remix. I thought that was a phenomenal game.
But
Yeah.
I think that Resident Evil, amongst all of them, was so dependent on the ribbons you have to collect and the ammo.
to
I
save.
think that's true suspense, like the
Yeah.
horror of it. Like you don't have that much ammo, you don't have that much to save, so like you're nervous, like I can't die, I gotta make it to a save point, and it was just intense. I always enjoyed the director's cut more than that. I don't know if you guys played that version.
I have it.
No,
yeah.
I didn't.
The director's cut's a little bit more graphic and
Yeah.
actually has a couple more scenes, but like it just looks better, the director's cut. But plus there's more blood, I think, too.
Mhm.
The director's cut.
I hope Evil Within does a good job at that. I hope that game is like what they're talking it up to be.
I think that game is going to be scary as hell, man. If you guys haven't been watching that, woo,
Yeah,
that
that
game is
game.
going to be good. That's going to be. I mean, because I'm more of a horror buff than anything else. That looks super exciting.
Don't talk like that in front of your wife.
All right, guys, should we wrap it up here? Natsu Nerdy, have you been out shopping this weekend? What have you been finding at those tag sales?
Oh yeah. I got some stuff that I got. I got another console. You guys should definitely go check that out. I had some fun. I've been on a console streak. I don't know what it is. I think it's the last 4 weeks straight. I got a brand new console that I found that was like in perfect shape, and I got them. The most expensive one I paid for, I think, was $15, and that was like with a bunch of games with it. So like I didn't spend like anything. So definitely check that out. I mean, I can say it's N64. It's N64. So I got it real cheap. So I'll let you guys know how much I got it for.
How many of those you got kicking around now? N64.
The N64? Honestly, I have another one which is like the clear purple case, and I also have a Pikachu in box one that's never been opened before. The Pikachu one's all I had. And
That's rare as hell. That's super
He's
fucking rare.
lost it. He's out.
what you okay? What happened?
You had a midlife crisis.
Because I said Pikachu? Because I said Pikachu? Okay.
You
But,
said a box Pikachu, never
yeah.
been opened?
Yeah.
You son
But,
of a gun.
That one, dude, the old guy didn't even know what he was selling. I'm like, well, I mean, that was like years ago, though. That was years ago. But the one I have had an expansion pack in it as well, which is always nice to see when you open it up. That's why you always check that to see if they have the expansion pack so you can play certain games. 'Cause you need it for like Donkey Kong and stuff like that.
Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Turok.
Yeah, all that stuff you can't play without the extra graphics. So
I've got to see exactly how much that'll run. Let me see. Unopened.
it's not super. It's not that much.
It's not as extreme as we think it is.
No.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
it costs money, but it's not gonna be. How much is it?
Even more expensive than you think it'll be. That's
He's putting that bitch on eBay tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a lot, if it's a lot, that's going on sale tonight. Like, when
Someone's got a house to buy here.
Got games to buy and shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they're going for $350, but that's still not bad for an unopened.
That's just like a new console. That's what I figured. It's like a normal console price. That's all.
Or $1,500 depending on when you get it.
Is it yellow or what's the deal with it?
What was that?
Is it yellow?
Yeah, it's a Pikachu.
Yeah,
it actually has Pikachu face. It's like it looks like Pikachu.
Face on it?
It's
It has Pikachu on it, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the bottom half is blue, right?
Yeah. It's a weird console. I would never want it that if it wasn't the box form. I only got it 'cause it's the only box one I had, and I got that years ago. But like the way it looks, it does not look great. Like to me, it looks like such like a kid's toy, and it looks like it's even more cheaply made than the other ones. Just the way the colors.
You can see the evolution to the GameCube from there.
Yeah.
What they come out with that for? Is Pokemon Snap or whatever? Or
Yeah, they also have
or some shit?
Yeah, it has like the adapter so you can actually hook up and you can actually do the trade with the Pokemon for the Game Boy. So you can actually collect them there and you could go back and you could battle people with it. It comes with expansion and everything. The whole thing comes in a box, but
not to worry, those sell for $5 brand new.
Yeah.
Pikachu. You son of a gun.
I mean, that's not even like the rarest. Like that's not even that rare. So I mean, it's rare to have. Anything that you find original box is always a treat to have.
Super rare, yep.
Yeah, that's why I always keep my boxes anytime I get something. So I still have the original PlayStation box when I got that one. I never opened one because I got two and I saved one. And then the other one I ended up selling, and thank God I wasn't stupid enough when I was younger to sell the box one because I didn't know that it's going to be worth a lot now, you know. So.
All right, Robbie, what are you up to this week? What games are you looking forward to? Is there anything coming out this week? I don't even think there is.
Destiny.
Destiny, that's right.
Destiny, yeah, that's all that matters anymore. That's all that matters.
Dance competition. Dance off.
Yes. We will revisit the pop and lock, my friend.
Oh, it's going down.
When's that come out? Thursday?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
What do you got going on, 9 to 5 Gamers?
I'm actually playing Rise right now as well for Xbox One. That game's
really? You're on like the early release. What is it?
Yeah, kind of like early release window binge because now you can get them all for cheap as hell. Not to mention there's nothing really going on right now. So
that'd be an interesting thing to see. I think it was on Joystick or Kotaku where they went and they got all of the original Xbox 360 release titles and they were playing them just to like compare like how far the Xbox 360 came out in the 32 years that it was available for.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Get that XMB back because their fucking Windows 8 shit is trash.
Yeah, 9 to 5. 9 to 5. When you play the game, right? How many different characters do you see in that game? Just curious.
Like 2. Like no lot. No lot. That's what you see like the guy. You see like the normal soldier guys, and then the guys with like the horns, and then that's it. It's like what the fuck, man? And then you get a mixture of the two, and it's like okay, whatever.
That's why they switch it up.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be playing Knack. Obviously, I'm also working on platinuming Watch Dogs, and I'm playing Wolfenstein. So
that is a full plate.
Too much shit to play right now, but
some of the Wolfenstein later levels are really fun.
Oh, and I'm gonna do like a Twitch stream when the DLC comes out for Battlefield 2. Because I'm done doing like walkthroughs. I'm not gonna do walkthroughs on my channel anymore because whenever I play a game, I don't feel like I want to do a walkthrough because it takes away from the game experience itself. So
I kind of like how Not Too Nerdy's been doing it. He does the walkthrough on Twitch and then just dumps it onto the YouTube channel, so it's all available for anybody who wants to see it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Like, it's weird when it first happens because, like, all of a sudden there's, like, 8 new videos.
Yeah.
But it's nice because you can just watch them at your own pace. You don't have to watch them right away.
I do that sometimes, but, like, I also, if it's something like The Walking Dead, or The Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us, I just put it out there, like, one at a time so people could see it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, I try to do all in one shot, like, on certain days, like 10 a day, and that's it. Yeah. But everything's finished already, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's nice having those just be scheduled uploads.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it works. I do them for like early morning, just because Just to have them get out of the way.
When it works. When YouTube decides
when it
to
works.
make it work.
I don't know what is going on with YouTube, but it feels buggier to me than it has like in a long time. Like all sorts of weird shit is
Well,
happening.
that's because they're trying to add new things. When they add new things, they take away other things.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that they actually pulled one of my videos, like EA did on Battlefield, the hardline beta, but they left other video up that I used it on. I was like, what the fuck?
Gameplay? It was gameplay?
Makes no sense.
That's weird.
Like they kept, yeah, it was gameplay where I was just talking about like bullshit, and they pulled the one. It said EA pulled it, and then it said Reason Visuals, and I was like, what the fuck? I used these visuals on like 3 other videos.
Damn, did you get a strike for it?
I didn't get a strike for it. It just said like they sent me an email and they took the video down. I was like, whatever. It wasn't that fucking big of a video anyway.
Really? You're lucky you didn't get a strike. Usually, anytime you take
I
a
don't
video
think
down,
so.
it's
Let me
automatic
check
strike.
real quick.
Oh,
Maybe I
crap.
did.
That sucks. You're gonna get a strike as you look at it right now live on the BC Hot Show.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Live on
Get a
video.
strike live.
No, well, no, right now.
This is happening. Beastly, you still look like you're upset about this Pikachu.
Killed down.
It's bullshit, man.
You haven't talked since you heard about this thing.
Oh my god,
No,
dude.
I'm not. Of course, I'm not upset. I think Not Too Nerdy is awesome, man. I love watching your pickups, and you're the only one I know personally that has a nicer collection than me. And so I'm like in the back of my mind, get your shit together, Beastly, right? But yeah,
It's in
continue
the
to do
box.
what you do. It's going. It's yeah.
I was gonna say it's in a box. It's being boxed right now. But if you want, next week I'll do a special unboxing, not of the Pikachu, just where it's packaged right now to be shipped. When I leave here, I'm gonna unbox it just to show you. To do a special unboxing to everyone on YouTube, but it's really gonna be titled for Beast the Gamer, and then I'm gonna hack it again and put it back.
I think you should just name it "Fuck You, Beastly Gamer," and then just unbox it.
Wait, it'll be like Pika who? Like Pikachu.
No, this week, man, I'm going to be doing some fighting games. Evo's kind of got me pumped a little bit.
Yeah.
I really want to get our Beastly Thoughts tournament started.
Yeah.
Thinking about that this week.
Game. Not Too Nerdy. What game are we
You
doing?
can't do that because the reason why, like, I looked it up and like, it seems now that the ones I wanted to get, they pulled it from the Sony website, so like, it's not multiplayer on it anymore, so you can't go online for some online. But like, the ones that are too expensive right now. The ones they're still going for a lot because everyone's playing King of Fighters. Like a lot of people have King of Fighters. They don't need to update or anything, so. That's why, like, I gotta find a new game now. So, if someone wants to go first, then I'll.
All right, I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Black
Okay.
Ops 2. We're
Black
gonna
Ops.
start. Yeah, we're gonna start tonight. I will email, or I can't email because I don't have anybody's email address. I will Twitter everybody here the rules. I'll set up a tournament bracket. Okay, and it'll be. I'm half tempted to just have us do a free for all. Because I think it'd be funny. Maybe we should just do a free for all on Saturday.
I got a
When are we
problem.
gonna-
I gotta put it in quick.
What's that? You don't have Black Ops 2?
I had it, but there was this guy. Well, I used to be friends with him, not really anymore, and he has the copy that I borrowed to him, but I don't think I'm ever getting it back, unfortunately.
All right. Here's how you handle this, Robbie. You walk up to him, you punch him in the fucking nose. Where's my Blob 2, bitch?
Where's my goddamn Black Ops 2? Just hold him by the shirt.
If you don't want more of this, you better bring this shit back in.
All right, guys. I'm just letting you guys know real quick. I have a $10 PlayStation Store card. All right. And whoever takes out BriarRabbit the most gets that $10 card. I'm just saying, though. Everyone go against him, you get the card.
I got the best.
Hey, I'm just calling it now. I'm putting a hit on Briar. Anyone
Call it now.
Would you guys?
I'm not gonna fucking win.
What would you guys prefer? Doing like individual matches or just a free for all? Like all of us together in one game.
We can do a free for all.
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be fucking fun.
You got a hit on it, Briar. You think it's funny?
Hey, we might get you ass. For all, we won't even shoot each other.
All right. we'll plan that over Twitter to get like a night that works for everybody.
What about
9 to 5 gamers. I think he's either frozen or gone.
No, he's sitting still. He's sitting still.
Thinking about it.
Meditating.
I'm just.
I am going to.
I was actually seeing how much you can get it for.
Black Ops 2?
Yeah.
You don't have it anymore?
Fuck no. Yeah.
Does
right.
everybody have a 360?
Yes.
No, I don't. I don't even have.
I got Black Ops 2 on PS3, Briar, and you can always and you can also alternate with Ghosts on PS4.
Should we just go Ghost on PS4? Would that be easier for everybody?
If you go Ghost, I'll just go buy Ghost. Like,
All right. I think that probably.
Honest to God, if you go Ghost, I'll just pick it up.
I'll just rent it.
Yeah,
just rent it.
If you don't have it, rent it, and we'll try and set up a free for all for the end of the week. I'm thinking either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Time out.
Thursday
Rules for the game. We all
Rules
get
for the game.
the same
on
stock
Thursday.
weapon.
Destiny's on Thursday, Briar. You think you're gonna stop that to play some goddamn Black Ops 2? Are you out of your mind, man?
All get the same stocked weapon, nothing else. Make it fair.
Yeah, no way. Fairness has nothing to do with this, man.
Briar wants his
Every person is stocked weapon.
I want full shenanigans in action. I'm gonna be throwing IEDs out there. I'm gonna be talking shit. I am going to be hiring people who live in New Jersey to cut your cable connection.
Briar, you can't win your own $10 for PSN.
Yeah.
I got 11 Canada and you can't find me.
All right, Beasley. I think should we wrap this one up, guys?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, we'll try and schedule the tournament. Call of Duty Ghosts PS4 sometime this week. You know what I'll do is after the show I'll throw out a Twitter and everybody kind of start talking about when they're available.
Cool.
Maybe do you guys just want to do Saturday? Would that work?
Saturday morning before the show, maybe get together for an hour.
Saturday night.
Saturday
night will
Saturday
be
or
after the show.
Sunday
Saturday,
we record the show every week almost.
Today is Sunday, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I'll talk to you guys after this. I don't know. We'll talk about it on Twitter. We'll talk about it after the show. We're going to sign off. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
See you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.